Yo, yo. Here we go. How's everybody doing today? Fountain of youth, baby. Fountain of youth. Look at that dimple sucking in now. I told you. See, it's pulling in the middle here. Absolutely epic. And right here, it's starting to get rid of some crystallization. Very nice. Well, it's Friday, June 26th, noon. A little bit after now. How's everybody doing? Let's... God damn, dude, it's fucking annoying. Fuck, will you please fucking show it? So here's a post. Last night's rally was packed, blah, blah, blah. No, it wasn't. 45,000 military flyovers will be the best ever. The most planes, the newest planes, the fastest planes. What is this mentally ill, deranged occupant of the White House talking about? People are starving. Your focus is planes and celebration while people are suffering and fucking starving. Trump is focused on some mentally ill, deranged shit instead of doing his fucking job, being focused on the American people only, not other foreign countries that are genocidal. This guy is the biggest ass clown of all time. This guy has literally made the record books in history. Nobody ever has been such a retard president in all time, nor will we ever have, or not we, but nor will anybody else ever have a president as bad as this retard. And then this is a quote from Netanyahu. This coalition of forces allows us to do what I have yearned to do for 40 years. Smite the terrorism. In other words, he's talking about Iran. He's talking about Iran. 40 years. And Trump did it for him. Trump official says U.S. control of Greenland could bring back all-you-can-eat shrimp at Red Lobster. Again, everything he does is to help corporations. How does that help us? Red Lobster can serve all-you-can-eat now and make a killing. And our only benefit is we get some shrimp? Man, shut the fuck up, pedophile. I will fucking twist your head off your fucking body and shit down your neck. Pedophile motherfucker. Goddamn piece of shit. Only gives a fuck about himself, not the people. Fucking pedophile motherfucker. Look at this. Pedophile dick rider. Predicts another line. All right, so Larry Loomer predicts another 9/11. She's saying that Israel, via Mossad, CIA, FBI, are going to perform and execute a false flag terror attack to blame it on Iran or just anybody, anything but whatever they want, on whoever they want. Most likely whatever agenda they want to, go to war with Iran, it'll be Iran. But, see what I'm saying? And so she's predicting this because they're going to do it. How do you know? Because we're going to do it. She's going to do a terrorist attack. She's a terrorist. And here you go. This is not America first. Stop supporting Zionism when this is what Zionists do. They burn the American flag. These are pedophile Israelis burning the American flag. This is who you call our favorite ally, you fucking pedophile dick riders. You fucking retards. You mentally ill, deranged retards. This is who has infiltrated almost every government in the entire world. These fucking pedophile dick riders right here. These fucking genocidal child rapers. And right now, they were genociding Gaza live stream. Now they're genociding Lebanon live streams. So now they're openly committing genocide in Lebanon. Okay, 5-year-old Hind Rajab spent 4 hours trapped in a car with her dead parents on the phone, pleading for someone to rescue her. Israeli soldiers arrived and shot 355 bullets into her tiny body. Yeah, these pedophiles here, burning the American flag, murdered a child. Murdered a child. Guardians of the pedophiles. Look, it's guardians of the pedophiles. Guardians of the pedophiles. Okay to marry 13-year-olds. Mentally ill, deranged government. Government will always be mentally ill and deranged because the people who run it will always be mentally ill and deranged. Yes. 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 Smells like rotten egg vagina. She's so ugly, by the way. She was never attractive to me. Maybe when she was like fucking, in her 20s. But not even. All right, stop funding Israel, you fucking pedophiles. I want you to serve Tel Aviv. Die for Israel. Uncle Sam, Trump, wants you to die for Israel. Lindsey Graham, he really wants you to die for Israel. He wants to draft you and force you to help these pedophile, genocidal maniacs, terrorists, the terrorist, genocidal state of Israel, the deranged state of Israel. To expect bad men not to do wrong is madness. Butt liquor is straight up staring at Epstein's asshole because he's a fucking pedophile dick rider. Oh man, they're really shadow banning me right now. Pedophile tube, fuck you, you're cursed. Everyone who works for YouTube is cursed. Fuck you all, motherfuckers, for censoring me and shadow banning me. You're doing a great job. We got one person right now because you're not notifying anyone. And I normally don't do live streams on Saturday. Well, sometimes I do.
Working on cars and trucks was simple. If you didn't know it was wrong, you looked in the glove box. There was an owner's manual, and it told you how to do it all by yourself. Growing up, working on cars and trucks was simple. If you didn't know it was wrong, you looked in the glove box. There was an owner's manual, and it told you how to do it all by yourself. Growing up, working on cars and trucks was simple.
God, why can't I find that goddamn fucking shit? I'm trying to. Oh, okay. I see.
Americans are being given de facto life sentences for protesting their government, exercising their freedom of speech, and defending themselves. The fascism you worried about is here. This is Russell Dobler filling in for Jimmy Dore. There was a pretty terrifying development this week. The Prairie Land ICE protesters were sentenced to decades in prison. This is from Mother Jones. On Tuesday, 8 protesters who the Justice Department accused of having connections to Antifa were sentenced to decades in federal prison over a shooting outside a Texas immigration detention center that left one police officer wounded. The demonstrator, who was convicted of shooting and wounding the officer.
Anyway, my point is you have no freedom to protest against the crimes of your own government. Let me explain something to everybody right now. I need you to understand something very carefully. The government right now, the people of the United States literally have 0 ways to punish or hold accountable politicians or anyone in government for that matter. There's 0. Voting doesn't count. That's for children. That's Santa Claus for children. Okay? Voting does nothing. Let's say that you get your guy in there and he doesn't represent you anymore. At any time, he can be influenced to change his mind. It can never work. You're like Charlie Brown trying to kick the football that Lucy puts out and thinking that she's not going to move it this time. That's how dumb you are. But the government has 1,000 ways to punish everyone else. The government has thousands of ways to punish everybody. Everybody. But the people have 0 ways to punish the government. And they're forcing our hands to where we're going to have to just hang every one of you motherfuckers. The only way we're going to really be able to hold government accountable is to hang them in the streets. All of you have to die in the streets. Every politician, every cop that supports the pedophile politicians, you all got to die. You're going to hang. You need to hang. Yeah, you need to die today. You need to be cursed.
Right, so Israel has now managed to make a ceasefire look like a show reel because while Washington is trying to sell everyone this story about de-escalation, the Strait of Hormuz being opened and an end to the Iran war in sight, Netanyahu's side is showing Lebanon's destruction via live stream for Israeli entertainment on a giant screen as if flattening another country is a conference highlight. Well, for him, it might well be. Israel is point blank refusing to leave.
Murdering Palestinians and murdering Lebanese people is entertainment for Israelis. It's like they're reptilian aliens or something.
Lebanon, and they are refusing out loud. Netanyahu's demented defense minister Israel Katz has said no withdrawal from Lebanon, even if the US demands it. Netanyahu is showing Lebanon's destruction like a product demo. Marco Rubio turns up like a college student with a set of folder dividers trying to keep Lebanon over here and Iran over there, apparently completely undermining Trump's position in favor of Israel's on the face of it. And then just to place an alarmingly large cherry onto this utter shit show of a cake, Netanyahu starts talking about his own Manhattan project. Because apparently what South Lebanon needed after occupation and...
Manhattan? What's Netanyahu doing in Manhattan without being arrested for war crimes and pedophilia, war, genocidal bullshit? That dude needs to die right now. I don't know why my curse ain't working. I put a curse on him. He should be dead by now.
Strikes and displacement and a withdrawal date that keeps getting pushed back even further.
It's not working. I put a curse on Trump and Netanyahu, and it's not working, although we have till the end of the year.
Oppenheimer with worse hair and a persecution complex. So let's start with the...
He will not be alive by the end of this year, and if that's the case, then, I'm just useless, basically.
Simple bit there. Israel was asked the most straightforward question in this whole arrangement. When are you leaving Lebanon? And Israel Katz's answer was basically, make us.
וצה"ל נערך בקו ואנחנו לא נסוגים. הודענו שבכל מקרה אנחנו לא נסוגים, ונכון לרגע...
Trump says, Israel, get out of Lebanon. Israel says, make me. Make me. Okay, Okay, we'll withdraw every single dollar, every single weapon. We'll take everything out of the country, and we'll leave you to die from all the fucking people that you have been attacking around you 360 degrees or 180 because of the water. Literally, if there was 360 degrees around Israel, they would have attacked that country too.
הזה, וזה הישג מדיני, אין דרישה אמריקאית מישראל לסגת מלבנון.
Anyway, let's keep moving. Yeah, that's really starting to pull in, man. My face is starting to pull in and suck in and no wrinkles. I love it. Finally. Whatever. Come on. Come on in there, lay down. What happened? What happened, honey? Come on, lay down. If you want. Yeah, the dog. What a good dog. What a good dog he is. Buddy, say hi, buddy. Say hi. He's a good dog. If there's a possum, he'll corner it and start barking at it. If it's a groundhog, he'll tree it. He'll put it up in the tree. Yeah, he'll let me know when there's a possum around. You can tell when something's around. He'll he'll go find it and bark at it, and I can go whack it if I'm hungry.
Something happened today that once again validates and solidifies the assertion that George Carlin made years ago that it is a big club and you aren't in it. You will never benefit from the club and you'll always be steamrolled by the club. And by the club, I don't just mean the...
Shout out to... God dang it, dog. You knocked the fan down. Relax. Lay down. Yeah, it's okay. I know. It scared you. But shout out to Brian here. He does a good job.
Corporate elitists. I don't just mean the Zio International Banking Cartel, but I also mean the black robe tyrants of the Supreme Court, the president and vice president of the United States, every single congressman and senator that's bought out and paid for and persuaded by the lobbyists of those corporations. Today, the Supreme Court sided with Monsanto in this crazy case over cancer risk from their weed killer called Roundup.
Folks, if you were ever wondering if your system is crooked and criminal and corrupted and rigged, it's more rigged than a card of decks in Vegas.
And it was a 7-2.
Sorry, I fucked that up. It's more rigged than a deck of cards at Vegas.
Decision. And it was split. Democrats voted for it. Republicans voted for it. The only two dissenters, we're going to see who they are, and you might be a little shocked. Says the Supreme Court on Thursday, that's today, ruled that Monsanto cannot be held liable under state laws for failing to warn consumers about the alleged cancer risks of its weed.
It's not alleged. It's not alleged. Pedophile. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Killer Roundup on its label. Let's see. Who else enjoys immunity from liability? That wouldn't be the
Trump.
Big Pharma industrial complex, would it? And why would they do that? Why would they put...
Trump's immune from tax auditing, and Big Pharma's immune from killing you. If it kills you, fuck you, dumb fucking slave, you dumb fucking retard. Politicians don't care about you. They only care about Big Pharma, the pedophiles that work at Big Pharma, the CEOs that make millions and millions and don't pay their employees enough to survive. They only care about the billionaires. Have you noticed that there's so many billionaires now, they're actually taking everything over now. Another one just bought 1 million acres in Texas. Where was it? I'll be showing it. You'll find out here. It's in a video here. I forgot what the fuck. Where was that? Anyway, we're We're moving along fast today. We don't watch every video because we don't need to. We need to just understand the gist of them, meaning the criminal corruption of the government. The government is so corrupt, it's insane. Check out the, what do you call it, reports.
A couple months ago, somebody that you've probably never even heard of bought nearly 1 million acres
Real
of
estate
land
report.
in New Mexico. It was the largest.
All right, the channel is Real Estate Report. Why is this billionaire buying so much land? Because they've accumulated all the power and wealth, and now they're just going to use it against everybody. Everybody's a slave. 99% of the population has to sit here and watch 1% do whatever the fuck they want to us. Let that sink in.
Single land purchase in the United States in over a decade, but if it wasn't for some savvy journalists, the transaction would have been completely off the radar. The buyer's name is Stan Kroenke. What he is most known for is his sports empire. It's the largest privately held sports portfolio on the planet, valued at around.
I hate rich people. I hate these people that have accumulated so much wealth that even if they lived 30,000 lifetimes, they wouldn't be able to spend it. And they still need more. They still want more. That's a mental illness. When you make so much money that you can't spend it in your lifetime and you still try to make more money, you're mentally fucking ill. You have a mental illness.
$20 billion. Stan owns the Los Angeles Rams, the Denver Nuggets, the Colorado Avalanche, and the Arsenal Football Club in London. But what's funny is that the sports stuff is almost like a side hustle compared to the real estate portfolio that this guy has quietly been building for the last 30 years. Because after this,
imagine that. You live in a world where you come into the world and everybody is free. Nothing costs you anything. We work together. Now they're charging you to live and on the land that they never paid for. They came here. They were born here just like you. They didn't do nothing to deserve that land more than you. You deserve land to live on just as much as anyone else. You can't sell land here that you didn't buy. Now, there's this scam where nobody's allowed to use the fucking land. And a 1% of the population is allowed to use all of it. It's what you get for being naive.
New Mexico deal that we'll be talking about today closed, Stan Kroenke officially became the single largest private landowner in the United States. He now owns more than 2.7 million acres of land across the American West and Canada. That's more land than the entire state of Delaware and Rhode Island combined.
One person owns a state. You fucking pieces of shit. God, you're going to fucking get hurt real bad for this.
But he did it all very under the radar. The man is so reclusive that his
Of course it's sneaky. He's a fucking sneaky pedophile motherfucking dick
own
rider.
PR team has a nickname for him. They call him Silent Stan. Today, let's dive into the controversial full story of how one man from a small farming town in Missouri became the largest private landowner in America.
They call him Silent Stan. I call him Silent Scam.
And why, over the last couple of years, him, along with several other billionaires, have been collecting and almost hoarding land faster than they ever have been before. So Stan Kroenke was born Enos Stanley Kroenke on...
We don't care. We get the idea, dude. We don't need to know the details of some fucking goddamn fucking pedophile. Fuck you. Fuck you. So here, I'm not going to watch all this, but you now have people getting arrested for posting. A man arrested for organizing a protest against a data center. Arrested for a post. The First Amendment. When you kidnap somebody for the First Amendment, you got to die for that. This cop right here, he needs to be executed immediately. He's mentally ill. He's a danger to your freedom. He has to die now. This cop.
Hi.
If I ever see this cop, I'll kill him where he stands. You will be dead immediately, dude. People have the right to do whatever they want. You don't, as long as they don't cause harm. You can't tell anybody what to do, pedophile fucking dick rider. You're all gonna die for this. You're all gonna fucking die for this. Yeah, where is everybody, Bubscat? What's wrong with people is the question. Look at that, dude. It's starting to really pull in right here in between my top lip. Dimple. Nice, beautiful dimple. Might even. How you doing, Bubscat? Hope you're doing well. Dude, I don't know what's going on. I put in a new fuel pump, fuel injectors, filter. Well, before, when the pump went bad and I wasn't getting any fuel, but I put in the new fuel pump, and now we're getting epic fuel all the way to the fuel injectors. My only concern or worry is, are they going from the fuel injectors to the spark plug? I haven't been able to find that out yet. And am I still getting spark? The timing's off or something. I mean, what's crazy is the truck ran fine for years, right? It ran fine for years, right? Except the idle started to increase because of the gaskets were wearing out and letting more air in. So it had to give it more gas to compensate for so much air, the computer. And so I changed the gaskets, put it back together, and now it doesn't run because and it has to do with, I'm pretty sure, the distributor. I can't get the fucker even back in there right now. But I thought I had it dead, top dead center and all this shit. Anyway, it's bullshit. It's real frustrating because I replaced pretty much everything and the damn thing still ain't starting. I don't know what it is, man. And I know I had a problem with that car alarm where I had to disconnect that because it started locking the doors and the lights were on and shit. I'm like, whoa, this old thing has to go. This old car alarm, keyless entry piece of shit. So I don't know. The fucker ain't starting now. It was fucking running fine until I took it apart and fucked everything up. I fucked it all up, dude. I put it back exactly the same except for this. The distributor shit's a little tricky. I don't know I don't know why that's not working. I really don't. It's really annoying. Oh, God. Yeah, I bought another distributor and tried that, and I still can't get it to work. Ignition coils. No, we're getting spark, or I was getting spark. So we have spark. Or I did buy an ignition coil just in case, and it's no use changing it out because I'm getting spark. I mean, you know. Shut the fuck up! God damn it! Fuck! God damn it! Beat it! Fuck, man! Fuck! Jesus Christ! Right up on my window. Dude, they get right up, roll up on my fucking window and start chirping, bro. Back off 100 yards. Dude, literally rolls up on my fucking house. All right, let's see here. Yeah, and really annoying. But so now you got this new propaganda from Israel coming out. Ben Shapiro, this cocksucking dick rider, pedophile, genocidal dick rider.
Come on, this is so bad. It's so cringe. It's so lame. It might even be funny in an ironic train wreck kind of way if their aim wasn't genocide. We all know that the biggest threat to America is radical Islam and fundamental Islamic terrorism. So we got to make a movie about it to warn the world. Well, not me, but Ben Shapiro, who announced today that the Daily Wire is making a new movie about radical Islamic terrorists who are imposing Sharia law on a woke college campus. First off, are we still talking about woke? It's the Trump administration. Kamala and Joe are long gone. There are dirt bikes and UFC fights on the White House lawn. And get a load of this log line, okay? Quote, when radical Islamic terrorists hijack a liberal college's pro-Palestine encampment to enforce barbaric Sharia law on students and execute infidels in a makeshift caliphate, a ragtag band of red-blooded students, a security guard tired of Uncle Tom smears, and a Delta Force vet must arm up to save their clueless peers and keep America from surrendering to the enemy on its own soil. Yeah, guys, don't you remember how radical and bloodthirsty these Ivy League protesters were?
I
don't know if you caught the caption on that clip, but very important. Never, ever mistake Judaism for Zionism. Because speaking of radical terrorism, this literally just happened where I live in San Diego. This guy wearing an IDF t-shirt holding a U.S.-Israel combined flag literally was in a shoot-off against the San Diego Police Department, and the incident apparently unfolded after he threatened his mother and then barricaded himself inside his apartment. But, you know, it's the Muslims who are the...
But guess what? He's not. He's not a fucking Muslim. He's a goddamn Israeli terrorist pedophile. Fuck.
Ones we really need.
So it's never the fucking... They always want you to think, oh, it's the Muslims, the Arabs. They've never done anything wrong. They just have been demonized by pedophiles. And that's what really it is. It's called propaganda. Propaganda is a deadly weapon. It's mind control for fucking weak-minded retards. Oh, it feels good to be right. All the time.
South Carolina. Welcome to MacB, South Carolina. There are crazy amounts of armed robbery going on in this town. Legalized armed robbery. Now, I know people don't like to call it that, but that's exactly what it is. And I guarantee the corruption we're going to talk about here is going on in your town. So pay attention.
This is happening in every single town.
Any of this sounds familiar? This is former McBee police officer Jarrell Wright.
Oh, by the way, wait until we get to the video where Israel is stealing $4 million from every town in the United States, or more in some cases. Every tiny remote, think of the tiniest remote town in the United States, and you're all paying money to Israel at a local level, not just state and federal. Israel is like a fucking cancer. At this point in time, the word Israel and the word cancer are now to be used interchangeably.
He's the star of
or can be used interchangeably at this point.
Jody Barr's investigative report. Jarrell wrote a lot of traffic tickets when he was the cop. I mean, a lot of tickets. This is the city's police lieutenant, Greg Block. Then we have Mayor Greg Odom. There's Police Chief Timmy Knight. Oh, look, Timmy's giving Lieutenant Greg Block an award. I wonder what the award's for.
Look,
and then there's
that's what a bunch of pedophile faggot dick riders look like. It's criminal scumbags of the earth that gotta die today.
Councilman Robbie Lyles. See, what's going on is Robbie, Timmy, Mayor Odom, Lieutenant.
None of these pedophile criminals would be able to do anything if you didn't give them a huge fucking blank check of power called government.
Block and Jarrell Wright all colluded and conspired against the people of McBee. Let's call a spade a spade. They're all a part of an organized, legalized crime ring specifically designed to attack the life, liberty, property, and happiness of people who live in and pass through McBee. Jody Barr is a really good journalist. He's exposed a lot of criminality within police departments, including within the ranks of SLED over there in South Carolina.
Did you and your agency conspire to arrest this man and destroy his property? that I've already told you I'm not going to answer any questions.
That's what a pedophile, dick-riding criminal looks like. Every cop is a fucking pedophile fucking criminal. Every fucking one in the U.S. Every cop in the U.S. is a fucking pedophile, genocidal, dick-raping motherfucker.
About anything that has to do with this pending litigation.
Yeah! We're going to go through his video, make some comments along the way, and we're
I see you, I hang you. I see you, I hang you.
going to say some things that Jody can't say because Jody's a professional.
Again, the punishment for these people have to be 1,000 times more because they know better. It can't be the same as ours. The punishment on government to anyone in government has to be 1,000 times stricter and worse on anybody in government. That's a law, a rule. That has to be a rule. If a normal person would get 10 years for kidnapping, a cop has to get 100. A cop has to get 100. A politician has to get 100.
And we are not professionals.
If you do something wrong and it's 10 years, a politician and a cop have to do 100 years. You dumb fucks. They have a responsibility. They trusted you. I don't trust you. I'll never trust you pedophiles.
No, I've never even seen that guy.
How are you guys out here ticketing people with somebody else's name? I definitely want my money back. That was my rent money.
This is when he sent me his login information. Tell me.
Yeah, you have somebody out there writing tickets for himself and another police officer. Let that sink in, the mental illness of these pedophile cops.
And just say, if anything goes down, you had to use my computer because you're like.
They will look like they rape children too. I swear to God. Look at the beady eyes on these fucking cops. They all look like they would rape a child in 2 seconds. I bet you if we lured them in with some fake pedo shit, every one of them would show up. Every one of these cops would show up wanting to fuck a 13-year-old kid.
Login wasn't
fucking
one. Are you prepared to tell law enforcement about this?
I'll tell law.
I bet I could trick every one of these cops into fucking showing up for an 11-year-old fucking boy.
Enforcement, anything they need to know.
Now remember, this is former law enforcer Jarrell Wright. He's no longer with the department because he retired. And he retired after he was involved in an ambush on September 19th, 2024. And it doesn't take an active imagination to wonder why people like this are being ambushed.
I have nothing to hide.
When we started digging into MACD's government, it didn't take long to uncover secrets that brought.
Bro, when cops get attacked or government or anything, it's because they did something wrong first. People don't do anything. People are docile, domesticated little pets.
State investigators to town. Allegations of a ticket.
Dude, in this world, for anybody to do anything, you have to do something pretty bad. I mean, let's face it, what the public allows the government to get away with. I mean, think about it. It's pathetic. It's insane.
Quota scheme where Officer Jarrell Wright told me the mayor nicknamed him Cash Cow.
Quota scheme. Nicknamed the guy Cash Cow. That's how the pedophiles talk when you're not around.
For single-handedly funding the entire department out of his ticket book.
One dude single-handedly is funding his entire department out of his ticket book. And it's all unconstitutional and criminal. None of it. You can't tell anybody any of this shit. None of it. It's insane. You're all mentally ill.
Book. Wright also claims he was ordered to not only keep his own quota up, but to also write tickets for another cop to keep the MACD mayor off of that cop's back.
And keep the mayor off his back. Now, what's the mayor doing? See, the mayor wants money. So you're like, why would the mayor be on their back? Because he wants money. He wants money. This is how he gets money. He decides where that money goes. So he wants his cops out there doing quotas. You're not getting enough money for me. You're not getting enough money for me. That mayor needs to die today. Do you understand me? That mayor, he has to die. If I see that fucker, he will be hanging from a rope. If I don't chop him into 1,000 pieces first. Because I'm a real man.
They do have quotas, even though they euphemistically employ other terminology to make it sound like they don't have quotas. See, with quotas, you are highly incentivized as a police officer, and you feel
Again, they're creating criminals out of people who are not criminals to get quotas and to get money for the pedophile mayor who wants the money. Quotas are criminal. They're absolutely fucking criminal. It means that your goal, the normal goal, is to have no criminals. But now your goal is we want criminals. We need criminals to create money. We want criminals. Do you see the difference in mentality? You don't want criminals, but they go around and create criminals out of people who aren't even criminals to get a quota. Well, I know you didn't do nothing wrong, but I'm going to say you did. I'm going to say you did. Who are they going to believe? Government hates you. Government loves me. Government sucks my dick every day. I'm a cop.
feel a lot of stress from the people above you to write those tickets, which means you are now no longer a peace officer. You've transferred from that, even beyond a law enforcer, to
you're a cash cow,
mere revenue generator, or as people in the real world like to call it, armed robbery, because you're legally taking money from innocent people with the implied threat of government force.
Yeah, this is a ticket count that I kept up with on the daily. You see different colors there. The black, that's all mine. If you see blue at the end,
well, if I see you, I'm going to chop your head off.
Or any other color at the end, those are the ones that...
It ain't good enough that you're alive. You all got to die if I have something to say about it. I'm going to kill every one of you cops.
That
That's right.
I signed under someone else's name and did for them, like the blue. Those are the ones that I did, but it was in someone else's name under their login and info. And days like this,
they're all criminals. Again and again, the SNAP, what do you call it, report, the NAP report. Every report that's ever been done, the cops have always been found to be corrupt and criminal. The government has always been found guilty of corruption. Everyone. So cops are criminals in uniform. That's the only difference between cops and everyone else, except everyone else aren't criminals. The cops are the criminals. Only a criminal would want to be a cop. Only a psychopathic, child-raping pedophile would ever want to be a cop or a politician. You have to have a low IQ to want to parasite off your fellow man. You're all parasites. You steal money to get paid. That's criminal extortion.
yes, on Sunday, finished in blue. That was for someone
All
else.
I know is they all got to die, and I don't give a fuck. I won't be happy until they're all dead. I'm sorry. I'm not happy until everybody in government is dead, fucking dead.
Look at that. They vigorously, aggressively targeted people who are driving in McBee. Guarantee you that a high percentage of these were
Small remote town. People are getting harassed by pedophile cops
for bogus reasons, completely fictitious, almost certainly made up. And wait till you see the total amount of all of these citations.
Finished in red. That was for someone else. And of course, that is the very last day that I was out.
I wrote a ticket for someone else. Pedophile, dick riding faggot fuck. God, I swear I'd love to find you. I'll fucking kill the fuck out of you.
Patrolling for the PD on September the 19th.
Fuck out of all of you.
2024.
Jarrell Wright showed us this notebook last year, a few months after he survived that September 2024 traffic stop.
He should have died there.
Ambush. That somebody else in that notebook was McBee Police Lieutenant Greg Block.
Golly, I wonder why anyone would attack a police officer during a trial.
Wait until people start growing some balls here. Wait till the men here start growing a backbone. Every cop will be fearing for their lives. You'll be dead. You won't be able to go anywhere. Your cop station will be surrounded and blown the fuck up. You all got to die for this.
Traffic stop.
When people wake up to what you're really doing, this is what you got coming. You ain't seen nothing yet. You're all going to die.
Maybe the American people are just fed up.
You're about to awaken a sleeping giant. Have you ever heard that expression? Because you, government, is about to awaken a sleeping giant, and they're asleep. The American people they're a giant, but they're a sleeping giant.
With it, maybe they just can't take it anymore. Maybe you guys just pushed them too far.
Why was Jarrell?
We know that today you have to push everybody a lot. They don't do anything. So imagine how far they pushed. I mean, they must have really had this coming.
Wright helping his supervisor get his ticket.
Nobody does this crazy shit like this unless they really had it coming. This is crazy. Nobody does anything, dude. They just go back inside and bend over and say, fuck me, fuck me, fuck me.
Totals up. Well, Wright told me it was because MACD Mayor Glenn Odom wanted more traffic tickets out of Greg Block. Right?
I want more money. I want more money. This is a pedophile, child raping mayor. I guarantee you, if you act like an 11-year-old boy, he will show up. I'll put money on it. Somebody bet me. Let's go. Give me his number.
Wright gave me multiple text messages between him and the mayor showing Glenn Odom criticizing Greg Block's ticket production. In another, the mayor praised Officer Wright's 30 tickets in a single day.
What he is rewarding and praising him for is for violating your freedom and rights and stealing your money and making your life shitty, low quality of life.
Then he ripped Greg Block. Let Block work. He'll get 2 or 3. He got 5 last week.
10 a day is what they wanted. 10 tickets per day. They told me you consider this.
Imagine how long it takes to write one ticket. They want 10 a day. I guess it's not that long. I mean, if you get good at it. Or they probably have the computer doing it.
Corner and write a few. You can go with this corner, write a few. He said you can go with each end of MACD and write a few, and you can get 10 a day. That's what we want.
I can't watch anymore without killing somebody. What's up, Dominic? How you doing? Yeah, well, hey, Bubscat, check it out. Your family is about to fucking vindicate you if they have half a brain, because what's happening in this country right now, if that doesn't wake those fucking retards up, nothing will, okay? Same with my parents. You have to learn at some point in time that you're not going to teach that old dog new tricks, man. Get over it, bro. Look, I'm here to tell you, I'm the best salesman of all time, man, okay? And I couldn't sell my mom and dad out of their mainstream narrative. I couldn't convince them that it was all inorganic, manipulated. I couldn't do anything. Give it up. If I can't get my own fucking parents to wake up, no one can, bro. It's this programming taught me that there is nothing that can break their programming, bro. Not bulletproof, these motherfuckers. They're done. They're fucking donezo. Shout out to England. And Bub's cat, Dominic. Good morning, good morning. I mean, good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir. Shut the fuck up! God, I hate those fucking goddamn noise pollution. I hate noise pollution. Now, at least we're getting some really small crowds and people not supporting so much of this pedophile Trump.
From a big event on the National Mall, President Trump is holding a rally to kick off the Great American State Fair. This is the same event that several musical guests were set to perform. And Katie, what are the crowds like there?
A few moments later.
Now the largest producer of oil and gas on earth.
Watch, he's totally bragging about some mentally ill, deranged shit. Completely delusional. Brag. I did this. I did that. Me, boo, boo, gaga, goo, goo. I'm a 2-year-old child. Not one mention of helping the American people. It's all about his statues and planes and mentally ill shit. And I did this and that. And he never did anything but diarrhea shit on everything he touched. This fucking pedophile, literally everything he touched turned to shit. I've never seen anything like it. It's like he's cursed or something. It's like he's like a cooler at a casino. The guy's a cooler.
larger than Russia and Saudi Arabia by far combined.
Sure, we have an ongoing war, an affordability crisis, and crippling healthcare costs, but the real problem that needs addressing is crowd sizes at Trump events and whether or not people stayed to the very end.
Donald Trump just posted on Truth Social claiming that 45,000 people were at his rally last night on the National Mall. He also said that every single person that was there stayed until the end of his speech. But that couldn't be further from the truth.
Donald Trump is once again focused on the most urgent issues facing the United States, whether people stayed until the end of his recent speech, and whether the television networks showed enough people applauding, because after footage revealed empty space at Trump's Great American State Fair rally, before then videos went viral of people leaving while he was still speaking.
Now the largest producer of oil and gas on earth, larger than Russia and Saudi Arabia by far combined.
Blah, blah, blah. You're helping out pedophile corporations sell oil. That doesn't help us, you fucking retard. Something's wrong with this mentally deranged fucking retard. Something is wrong with Trump. That dude, it's like he should be in a fucking mental institute. He's so deranged and delusional. Like he's in another world or something. Like it's wild. Come on, you fucker.
Oh boy. Another state is trying to ban classic cars. And it's not like what's going on in Massachusetts or Illinois with them proposing like a full ban for a certain model year back. Minnesota is trying to just keep your car off the road during the week. It's not like a full ban, which is still bullshit. You should be able to drive your car whenever you want.
You think?
But this state and that state we're going to talk about today, Maryland, yeah, they're trying to do the same thing. They want you to be only able to drive your classic car. And when they define a classic car as a 2006 or older vehicle,
or
on Sundays only. We're going to talk about all that and more right after this.
Again, the older cars are 1,000 times safer. They don't lock you in them, and they actually have mechanical handles that you can use to get out. Yeah, it's not rocket science. But you get the idea. We don't need to see anymore. I just wanted to show a little bit.
How much influence does Israel have on our country?
Israel's controlling our government.
Israel controls us.
The government of Israel controls the United States.
Israel is in control of our government.
Israel controls America.
There's no easy way to say this other than the United States is being controlled by Israel.
The man controlling our military, Benjamin Netanyahu.
It feels like we're just owned by Israel, and we just never knew it.
Is this being done for America or for Israel?
Israel is losing support here in the United States.
Why do you think AIPAC is buying out U.S. politicians, and what exactly are they buying?
They're buying allegiance. Never taken money from the Israel lobby, have you? Taken money from the Israel AIPAC.
If I ever see that Cruz guy, I'm going to chop his head off.
You take AIPAC money, don't you? We're not going to vote for anybody who takes AIPAC money.
I will not vote for a candidate that takes $1 from AIPAC. It's interesting.
I will not vote for a candidate that takes AIPAC money.
I will not vote for any politician that takes.
They're going to vote. They're going to vote. Boo, boo, goo, goo. Gaga, I'm going to vote. Nah, nah, nah. I'm a 2-year-old idiot. Look at me. I'm a voter. I want my club to make rules and rule over you. As long as it's my club, then it's okay that government rules you. It's my club, government. Boo, boo, goo, goo. I'm a 2-year-old fucking idiot.
Any money from the Israel lobby.
We don't want candidates who are taking money from AIPAC.
Yeah. Idiot! Look at all these idiots. They're all a bunch of fucking 2-year-old retards.
Will you be taking money from AIPAC?
No, I will not be accepting money from AIPAC.
AIPAC, I'm coming to tear your kingdom down!
Do you think AIPAC should register as a foreign lobby?
Start listening to the American people and not to AIPAC.
Who do you think we're occupied by?
AIPAC. Good morning, AIPAC.
Thank you, AIPAC. Thank you, AIPAC. Thank you, AIPAC. God bless Israel.
God.
The Zionist lobby that's the most influential in
God don't exist, or God would have cursed you and you wouldn't exist already.
Washington, without question.
If there was a God, you wouldn't exist, you shithead.
Belief is
But you don't need a God. You're inside yourself.
being for Israel first means that does not mean you're putting America second.
The Congress of the United States is Israel.
Listen to that pedophile dick rider go, Nixon. I knew I hated that fucking faggy guy for some reason.
Really occupied territory. My father
Knows that he loves that faggy shit at the Bohemian Grove. It's all faggy. Oh, you love it.
Tell me, the most powerful lobby that there is in this country is the Jewish lobby. It's the Israeli lobby.
Well, why would the President of the United States pay attention to that lobby? They are
You fucking
strong. Strong in what sense? Why would the President of the United States pay attention to that lobby? They are strong. Strong in what sense? Well, why would the President of the United States pay attention?
It's the Israeli lobby.
Well, why would the President of the United States pay attention to that?
It's the Israeli lobby.
Well, why would the President of the United States pay attention?
Lobby. It's the Israeli lobby.
Well, why would the President of the United States pay attention?
It's the Israeli lobby.
Well, why would the President of the United States pay?
When a great power like the United States has conflicting interests with another country, it almost always, except in the case of Israel, acts in terms of its own interests. America first. But when it comes to Israel, it's Israel first.
The question is why? Like, what is that?
I believe
it's called influence and agenda. It's a huge statewide terrorist state of Israel. If you ever pay attention to what they say, you'll understand why. Stupid Tucker, you idiot.
there's one simple
I hate these people. They're so dumb.
answer: the Israel lobby.
This guy, his whole life, look how old he is, and he still wants to rule over you with his pedophile government. Fuck you, fag. Fuck you, dick faggot. Fuck fag.
Israel has an overwhelming lobby over the United States government. We have fought their wars in the Middle East.
I'd like to ask
That guy loves pedophile cock in his asshole.
about your father's relationship with Israel. He's taken over $230 million from pro-Israel groups.
That receives $400,000 from AIPAC.
Why can I burn an American flag in my country, but I get a mark by my name if I burn Israel's?
What are you doing to prevent the use of our taxes to starve and kill people in Gaza?
How can somebody pledge allegiance to two countries at the same time?
How can you have dual citizenship? This is the highest order of treason I've ever seen. It automatically, you need to fucking execute everybody in the U.S. government for that.
Do you think it's a conflict of interest for Miriam Adelson, an Israeli donor, to give millions of dollars to his campaign and then
openly a foreign country running and controlling the president of the country?
Trump have pro-Israeli policies?
And you continue to support.
Pathetic! The American people, you're pathetic slaves. Fight back, you slave.
Israel. Why? Why do you do that?
The Israeli
pathetic slaves, America. This ain't you. You're not acting right.
attack in 1967 on the USS Liberty, which left dozens of American servicemen dead and hundreds wounded.
But there's no reason why we even have to be enemies with Iran. This is Israel's problem. We don't need to be involved in that. Sorry, we got our own issues here.
Our taxpayer dollars can build schools and hospitals in America, not bombs to destroy them in Gaza.
As a Jewish person,
there is no Zionist gene that I have or that Jews have.
And as an American,
over 60% of Jewish Americans believe Israel has committed war crimes. Jewish Americans.
I am horrified by the Israeli government's massacre of well over 65,000 Palestinians in Gaza.
How could it be done to you and your ancestors?
Oh, wait, they're doing it in Lebanon now because you let them do it in Gaza. It's spread. The cancer spread to Lebanon because you let him do it in Gaza. You dumb motherfucker.
And you turn around and you do it to someone else.
Zionism and Zionists
hate Jews and Judaism.
Christians, Jews, and Muslims stand shoulder to shoulder against the Zionist empire and the genocide in Gaza.
How are you going to be America first when you're Israel instead? You can't have it both ways.
Charlie was starting to have serious questions about Israel. Not just its role in the Gaza war, but its influence on American politicians.
All of a sudden,
I wish I could kill that guy right there.
Charlie is he's no longer with us and all that. I said, wait a second, what do you mean? What does with us mean exactly? Right? I'm an American, okay? Like I represent this country.
Why are we going to war with Iran?
I don't think we should be fighting wars on behalf of Israel.
Israel forced our hand and dragged us into this war. Again,
you go fight Iran. You go to Israel and fight Hamas. We are American people. It's not our problem.
No one wants to fight for Israel.
Israel is not an ally.
Israel is our top enemy. Enemy! Cut off the goddamn funding!
This is what a real political awakening looks like.
Until the United States government stops funding genocide, the American people have blood on their hands for killing babies in Gaza. You are helping Israel murder babies by funding Israel.
America.
You're helping Israel genocide another new country now. Instead of Palestine, it's Lebanon now they're genociding. You've allowed that.
It's fine.
Supported that. You funded it. The murder of these people.
Finally waking up to the foreign political force that hijacked its government and undermined its sovereignty for decades. The Zionist lobby. All indicators, polls, charts, all point in the same direction. This awakening is real, it is growing, and there is no turning back. Since the genocide began, searches for terms like Zionism, AIPAC, Israeli lobby, and Zionist lobby have exploded across the United States. In the last 2 years alone, the Zionist lobby has been exposed as the driving force behind both Iran wars, the genocide, and the crackdown on free speech in the United States. It has been at the center of the implosion of MAGA, Kamala Harris's 2024 loss, the New York City mayoral race, Joe Kent's resignation, and one political firestorm after another. After decades of operating in the shadows, the Zionist lobby was caught red-handed, interfering in, manipulating, and shaping American politics on behalf of a foreign government. And instead of backing off, it went mask off, doubled down, and stepped into broad daylight. That was a fatal move, because millions of Americans finally got to see this foreign influence in action. And the moment that happens, it sets up a chain of natural reactions that may yet end in the complete de-Zionization of the US government. In this video, I want to zoom out and ask, where exactly are we in that de-Zionization process? Why does the Zionist lobby exist in the first place? And what is the one mistake we cannot afford to make if we ever want a real chance to take on this lobby? Welcome to Breezy Politics. For any nation and throughout history, few political questions are more fundamental than sovereignty. Who calls the shots? Because once a nation's sovereignty is compromised, every other political question is affected by it. And in the United States today, nothing compromises that sovereignty or the very idea of government of, by, and for the people, more than the Zionist lobby. That is why this issue provokes such intense reactions across the political spectrum, because it cuts straight to the mother of all political questions. Who truly calls the shots in the most powerful empire in human history? On December 10th, 2025, President Trump said this.
Again, just because you say something doesn't make it true. You can believe that the United States is a #1 superpower, but that delusion was decades ago. The world has changed. That was at the end of World War II. This is a joke to call the U.S. the #1 superpower. You have to be like retarded. You've never been outside your mom's basement if you think that.
My father would tell me the most powerful lobby that there is in this country is the Jewish lobby. It's the Israeli lobby.
And lobbying is legalized bribery. It's criminal. They made something that's a crime legal so they can rig the system, and you think that voting is going to help until you unrig the system with the legalized bribery. It doesn't matter who you vote for, stupid fuck. Hey, Anna, dumb fuck. Hey, Chink, dumb fuck. All of you dumb Democrat retards. Nothing is going to help you as far as voting until you unrig the system of the lobbying. You stupid fucking shit stains. It's like you're 2 years old or something. How are you this dumb? Even if you do vote for who you want, they're not going to represent you. How are you this dumb? And again, you can't even recognize that a group of strangers rolling over to you is illegitimate. How are you this dumb? Nobody gets to roll over anybody else here and make rules for you. That's freedom means you're free of rulers. You're free of rulers. You're not free to cause harm, but you don't need a law or a rule to know that causing harm is wrong. Everybody knows that. Nobody ever has to write down anything. It's like we're living in a twilight zone of retards here.
The statement is fascinating. The President of the United States is admitting out loud and on camera that he's aware that the strongest lobby in the country he leads is
he's aware of the criminality, the rigged system.
The lobby of a foreign country. And he knows that
he's totally guilty of treason. Like, it doesn't get more treasonous than accepting money from a fucking foreigner.
Because in lobbying, power is measured by one metric: the ability to shape policy. The stronger the lobby is, the more capable it is of bending government policy towards its own interests. And if a lobby can turn a president once known as a conqueror-in-chief into Genocide Joe, or...
Again, you'll hear all the politicians out there talking about everything but lobbying. They never address the problem, the rigged system, the legalized bribery. You'll never hear these pedophile politicians, Democrat, Republicans, go, hey, you know what? Lobbying can't exist. That's not right. Our system's rigged. That's why billionaire pedophiles are running the world now, because of what you fucking pedophile politicians did.
Turn a president who campaigned on no more wars in the Middle East into the man who started the biggest one yet. That is one hell of a statement of its power. And before we...
See what happens when you don't use proper grammar? God, what do you call that? Fuck. See, now it makes sense. No more wars. No. More wars. See? You got to use the proper commas and shit.
That is one hell of a statement.
Right. You have to use the correct punctuation.
Of its power. And before we get to why Fred Trump made sure to warn his son Donald about this specific lobby, and why Trump the president shows such deference to it, we must take one step back and ask a more basic question. Why does this foreign lobby exist in the United States in the first place? And to make the explanation more fun, let's break out from this stale political language for a minute and borrow the language of Game of Thrones, okay? Because the more we simplify the picture, the whole thing becomes a lot easier to understand. Think of the world as being divided to 200 houses. Each house has its own flag, its own language, its own beliefs, and above all, its own interests. And instead of House Stark and House Targaryen, you've got House America, House China, House Germany, etc. For the purposes of our story, the two houses that matter most are House America and House Israel. They were born in different times, sit on different continents, speak different languages, and are shaped by different values. So naturally, they would face different challenges, have different enemies, and pursue different interests.
The Americans aren't Jewish supremacists. The Israelis are. They're raised to be supremacists.
And you can see those different interests play out very clearly in what has been happening lately. In March,
that inbred, ugly motherfucker. That's the essence of Israel. Look at him. You fucking incest half-breed looking fucking rejects. Look at these rejects.
2026, a polling house
That's who you're letting rule over you, you idiots. Look at this shit. Holy fuck.
Israel found that 93% of Israelis
Oh, yeah, and a Larry Loomer
supported the war with House Iran and see it as a top national priority. Why? Because Iran stands in the way of their national projects. Greater Israel. The idea that occupying Palestine was not the end goal, but
Now look at this Greater Israel map, how it horns in on everybody else's land and countries and freedoms out of a mental illness. This is what these mentally ill Israelis want to do. These reptilians might as well be reptilian aliens. They want to take over the world. Look at them. Look at this fucking mentally ill shit. I've never seen such mentally ill shit in my life. Look at that. Look at tiny little Israel expanding its borders. The reason Israel has no borders is because they want to constantly expand them. See how that works?
it's only the first step in building a larger Zionist state that expands from the Nile to the Euphrates and dominates the region. The Iranians understood the expansionist nature of the Zionist project a long time ago. In 1983, Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khomeini said, and I quote, "Israel would never abandon its goal of ruling over the countries from the Nile to the Euphrates." Years later, his successor Ayatollah Khamenei, the one who just assassinated in this latest war against Iran, warned of, and I quote, "the economic, political, and geographical expansion of the Zionist regime in the Middle East." That shows how early Iranian leaders understood the expansionist ambitions behind the Zionist project. And for decades, they worked to block it by strengthening the houses that are the closest on Israel's borders. That's why if you looked at the map, you will find that Iran supports the Syrians on the northeast, the Lebanese in the north, and the Palestinians in the south, to contain House Israel and to raise the cost of expansion and eventually to deter it from stealing more land by force. So from the point of view of
There they are,
Israelis,
stealing land from innocent people. Look at that. Look at the fucking criminality, dude. Look at what they've done to people, innocent people. Look at it. They uprooted their lives. They got to die for that. You got to die for that, Israel, what you did to Palestine. You need to be banished from the world. We need to put you somewhere and let you die.
think of expanding their borders as a biblical right. Hatred towards the Persians in House Iran make perfect sense, since Iran proved to be the toughest obstacle towards Greater Israel. That's why 93% of Jewish Israelis supported a war of aggression against Iran to get rid of this obstacle. But keep in mind,
Iran is the major target because they're not going to allow Israel to destroy Lebanon, Syria, Iraq. They're not going to allow that. They want to help these countries defend against Israel.
these are Israeli ambitions, Israeli priorities, and Israeli wars. Now,
every politician prioritizes their lobbyists. You're not even a consideration. You didn't give them money. Why would they, or a bill to pass in your favor? You didn't give them a bunch of donations. Didn't give me one either. No.
around that same time, on another continent, in House America, Americans were asked about our national priorities, and a Harvard study from January 2026 came exactly with the answer you'd expect. Americans are concerned with inflation, cost of living, affordability, retirement, immigration, housing.
Immigration, why? Because it's fucking diarrhea shitting on everything by design. Israel is the one implementing this immigration agenda.
Only 4%.
You have immigration in your country right now. Mass disruptive immigration is because of Israel, because that's what Israel wants.
Mentioned anything related to Israel and its wars. And even after the mainstream media started beating the war drums, the pattern barely changed. Poll after poll showed the same thing. The vast majority of Americans, somewhere between 70 to 80%, opposed going to war with Iran. Now, in a normal world where House America and House Israel each have a government that answers to its own people, the outcome would be obvious. The government of Israel would act on its own people's expansionist ambitions and go to war with Iran. The American government will answer to its people's concerns and tackle the economy, the inflation, the cost of living. That is what government of, by, and for the people looks like. That is what sovereignty looks like.
But sovereignty means you're free of a pedophile group of retards.
Here is the twist.
Freedom means there's no group out there telling you what to do. They can't do that. You can't do that. You can't go around making rules for anybody. You don't have to. All you have to do, everybody is smart enough to understand what harm is. You don't have to write it down.
What if House Israel...
Don't cause harm. If you don't want it done to you, you don't do it to anybody else. All you have to do is when someone's causing harm, you punish them to the same equivalent amount of what they caused. You don't ever punish them more than that. That's not fair. They didn't do anything. If they only stole something, you can't kill them for just stealing.
Israel does not have enough resources to fulfill its people's expansionist ambitions and carry the Zionist project to the next stage. Zionists confronted
You can't kill them just for protesting.
This problem a long time ago, and their answer was simple. If we already built the Zionist state by stealing other people's land, why not use other people's resources stealing other people?
There you go. Look at what happened. The Palestine is the green. So in 1947, it was Palestine. And it was all green in 1947. It was already getting invaded. But in 48 is when 1948 is when Israel completely came in. Look at it, 1947, it already took over most of it. Look at that. And then in 67, I mean, look at it now. There's no Palestinians left.
Land, why not use other people's resources to expand it? If the entire Zionist project is already built on this position, then tapping into the resources of the richest house in the system is not a contradiction. It's just the next logical move. So why not reach into the biggest economy in the world, infiltrate its political system, and use it to serve Zionist expansion? But to make that possible, they needed far more than ordinary influence. They needed a full spectrum apparatus, political, financial, and cultural. An entire ecosystem of power that operates across many fronts and in many forms for one overriding purpose: to harness American resources in service of the Zionist project. That apparatus is called the Zionist lobby. Its central function is to make the US government act as an extension of Israeli power, an external arm of the Zionist state. If Israel wanted Iraq, Libya, or Syria crushed, but lacked the resources to do it on its own, the lobby's job is to move Washington to do Israel's dirty work for it. And if 90%
Yeah, America is completely occupied by a foreign genocidal state of deranged fucking pedophile genocidal maniacs. Wait, I got another video after this. It's a fucking banger.
Okay, so when exactly did middle class just become pure survival mode? I'm talking like the hunter-gatherer stage of humanity. Because think about it like this. Just one mistake, one minute mistake away from sleeping under a bridge.
Can someone please tell me that things are going to get better for the economy, for the world? Just someone please tell me that things are going to get better.
No, Israel done diarrhea shit on everything because you can thank Israel. Thanks, Israel.
better, bro, because I
Literally, Israel is in every country of the world diarrhea shitting on it and stealing money from every single town in the United States pays money to Israel. Let that sink in so that you can't have nice things. Israel is why we can't have nice things. Pedophiles are why we can't have nice things.
I work from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., 2 jobs, and I'm just sitting on my lunch on my second job, and dude, I just can't do this shit anymore. I told myself I would never work a
Plus, I got 5 kids to feed.
second job again earlier this year. But, you know, bills are bills. You know, you got to do what you got to do. But, bro, I can't keep doing this shit. I'm tired, like everyone else.
Quite a few things feel off in America right now, and many people can feel it. They are exhausted, burned out, and stretched thin in many ways that really didn't exist not too long ago.
I feel like my husband and I are doing everything right. We both have good jobs. I'm a nurse. I'm a registered nurse. I work full-time. He works full-time. We just got paid this past Friday, right? We paid the mortgage, bought some groceries, put some gas in the car. And guys,
Hey, you think you got it bad? I don't even have any weed. The fuck is that about? I'm in hell over here. I'm suffering every minute.
It's Tuesday, and we have like $200 or $300 to last us until
That's more than I got. I got $0. Zero.
next Friday. Like,
I can't even get toilet paper. So wait till you run out of toilet paper, huh? Cry me a river until you run out of toilet paper. That's not fun.
we don't live in a big house. We live in a little
At least you got toilet paper.
ranch. It's 1,100 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, us and our 2 kids. And like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm in school full time. I work full time. He works more than full time. He works overtime every week. I don't know what to do. I'm so stressed out. This isn't how it's supposed to be. You know, growing up, we were
This is not how it's supposed to be. Because Israel.
told, you know, go to college, get a degree, work to support your family. Here we are. Did that. Now what?
Listen, a group of people that literally infiltrates every fucking country in the world and wants to control everything and micromanage everyone. This group is a problem. It's a cancer.
Now what?
I mean, they're aggressively doing this. This is not a secret.
I spent about an hour talking to my grandmother last night. She's 90 years old, and she's actually considering selling her home and her property.
See, that's fucked up. That is goddamn the signs of the times right there. This is blasphemy. Thank you, Israel. Thank you, pedophile, deranged Israel.
Property, because that's the country we live in right now. She's 90 years old.
That's the country. Israel's taken over all the countries.
And she has to sell everything that she's ever earned. That's the country we live in right now.
That's the world we live in.
My grandfather was retired from the military. She has her Social Security. They both worked their whole lives. And she can't afford to live anymore. 90 years old.
Imagine that. You come into a world and everything is free and provided for you, except when a group tells you can't use it.
Put money away, did all the things. And now she has to be put in a position.
This is a result of what happens when you let a group of people take everything from you and you don't fight back for your freedom and your survival.
Where she has to
completely taken over and enslaved. When land is everywhere, free for everyone, you allowed a group of people to charge you money to exist when they're the ones that shouldn't exist.
sell her home.
If anyone out there is wondering how Americans are doing poorly, we are doing poorly. Yesterday, I woke up to an email from my landlord saying, hey, I'm raising your rent. Why? No reason. We already pay all of the utilities ourselves. That is not included in the rent. So we pay for electricity and we pay for water and we pay for natural gas to heat our home. And that bill in particular has skyrocketed this year. Every single month this winter, it was over $600. And we do not turn the heat on. We just turn it so that we can survive. We do not turn it above like 60. So we're freezing in the house all winter. Oh, and also I woke up this morning to an email from my health insurance being like, thanks for your payment. It was deducted automatically, except this time the payment was $400 more than it was last month. Sorry? What's going on? So I called the health insurance company and I was like, why did this happen? And they said, oh, well, the tax premium expired. And I said, tell me why that happened. Is that because of federal budget cuts? Is that because of the New York State budget? Where did that come from? And they said, we don't know. You have to call the New York State Department of Health.
If the price of shit don't go down, I'm about to start stealing again. I'm good. I said I was leaving that shit in 2022. But look, if y'all gonna keep making deodorant $15 for a stick, I'm gonna just have to start sticking shit in my purse again. I don't care. Because I can't go without deodorant, and y'all know y'all taxing for that shit. Like, come on now. Something gotta give. Everything is just too expensive for me. Every single thing. Like, it's to the point I be rationing out deodorant. I'm only doing 2 swipes a day because.
All right, let's go to the next video here. It's a banger.
They took the trees, our fruit trees. They took the trees and sold us back the fruit. Then they took the water, rivers, rain, springs that fed civilizations for thousands of years, bottled it, and sold it back to us. They took the land that existed here long before any human drew lines around it. And they said, if you want to stand here, you better have a payment plan. Everything we need to exist, food, water, shelter, is already here. Nobody created it. But somehow, you were born owing for it. Am I the only one this drives mad?
It makes me insane!
I mean, why is a free life such a crazy idea? Why does simply existing without bills, debt, or permission sound like a fantasy?
Because Israel!
Why in the hell did we ever let anybody convince us
Because Israel!
that this is the way things were supposed to be?
Look what happened to the red brick and mortar. It's been melted and electrocuted and electrified. It's been damaged by heat and electricity. And that retard has no idea that that brick wall right there used to be a red brick wall.
Ain't that the truth, folks? I totally get what that guy was saying. Not a bad Joker impersonation too. But that's the kind of thing that woke me up when I was 4 years old, the fact that something was terribly wrong because we had to pay to be alive. And it's good that other people...
Yeah, something's terribly wrong when you have to pay to be alive when everything here is free and it's here for you to just use and you have to pay for it. Something's wrong. The math ain't mathin'. Everything here is provided to you free when you come here, but you have to pay for it because Israel.
People are sort of starting to think the same way. And what can I say? It's been a week since I did a video. I've actually tried to get this out to you earlier.
even though it's the 13 families that have been accumulating wealth here for hundreds of years since the Great Meltification event 400 or 500 years ago, they've been,
I've been trying to do a video for the last 4 days.
I don't
It's
even.
my fourth attempt, actually. I've been trying to get one done since Saturday.
Look at that melted shit, dude. Look at the black scorching and the heat damage.
Had a few attempts,
God, that used to be red brick. That probably would used to be a statue.
but I've had technical issues on most of them. And yesterday I tried one and I just got so sidetracked
God, look at the blackened heat damage.
with so many things happening that it just didn't happen. Where's this little dog gone? Nacha. There she is. So it just didn't happen. But yeah, the world's just continuing to go crazy. Trump's peace talks, of course, predictably broke down. Total embarrassment for J.D. Vance. I mean, I almost felt sorry for him through the whole process. I mean, Trump kind of threw him under a bus. As you probably all saw, I mean, the talks were held, I think, in Switzerland. And Vance arrived first, like the American delegation arrived first, which is like unheard of. Like America's claiming that they're winning the war, and yet they arrived first, which doesn't happen. The country that has the upper hand traditionally arrives last. And Vance arrived first. The Iranian delegation walked in, basically had a couple of quick words to the mediator and left. Process. And then even somewhere else during the process, the member for Qatar, when he came on the scene, he completely snubbed J.D. Vance.
See, he gave the Pakistani a hug. I'm not sure who that is. Looked at Vance and said, "Fuck you," and hugged the other guy. And then Vance still tries to molest him and force a handshake. And he's like, "Fuck you again, dude. Get off me, you fucking terrorist, murdering piece of shit, pedophile loving fuck, you pedophile dick rider, ass receiver." As far as I'm concerned, Vance is a pedophile, dick raper, a rider. No, dude, fuck you.
Yeah, and you can see there that Vance kind of even reached behind the other guy and
I would have chopped his head off myself.
tried to shake hands with him and then said, "Okay, guys, you know," I tried to
I would have grabbed Vance and chopped his head off. That's for my girl. That's for my daughter, motherfucker.
act like he was in control of the situation, but he wasn't. He was completely snubbed by everybody. Because Trump kind of basically...
Iran should have taken everybody from America and executed all of them, dude. Every one of them. That's what Iran should have done. When America came to meet them, they should have killed all of them. That's what I would have done.
Actually, 3 months.
Because why? Because that's what Trump did. You have to fight fire with fire.
The bus, I mean, on the way to the talks, Trump made an announcement that if Iran didn't sign the peace agreements and stop striking Israel, that he would bomb Iran again, and they may not even make it back from the conference, is what he said. And there was reports that the Iranians had a security threat to say, look, don't go into the room because it's a trap. A lot of the reporters there aren't actually reporters, and it's a trap, it's a setup. If you don't sign, they're not going to let you leave. So there's speculation of that.
Yeah, if you don't sign, we're not going to let you leave. We're going to kill you. Let that sink in. That's how Trump works.
That as well. But the whole thing was crazy. I mean, Trump signs this agreement, and then Israel breaks the ceasefire by going and bombing Lebanon. Lebanon responds by hitting 4 IDF members in a tank inside Lebanon. Incidentally, one of the guys that took out was the leader of the 52nd Battalion, which is the battalion that was responsible for the murder of the Palestinian child in Rajab. They put 300.
They got the fucking cocksucking command. They got him?
And 35 bullets into him.
They killed the fucking pedophile that murdered this child, this little baby.
And she was trapped in a car with her dead parents for 3 hours, pleading on the phone for someone to please come and rescue her. The IDF were there, and they waited for a rescue team to come, and then they killed them all. And they put 335 bullets into...
It says 355, dude, not 335. I don't know what you're looking at.
In Rajah. If you actually look at movies trending at the moment on new releases and trending, it's one of the #1 films trending at the moment that the media probably won't tell you about. There's a film called The Voice of Hind Rajab, which is the story of Hind, and I would be recommending people to go and check that out. But anyway, Israel said, we were attacked by Hezbollah. It was 4 guys in a tank, right? 4 peace-loving Israeli soldiers out for an innocent drive in Lebanon in their Merkava tank. And Israel complains that Hezbollah took them out. It was a terror attack. No, Israel is a terrorist. It's just unbelievable. Anyway, they use that.
When Israel attacks you and murders you, and you try to put your arm up to defend yourself from the knife coming at you, you're a terrorist for trying to put your arm up and defend yourself. That's the mental illness and deranged, the problem with these deranged idiots.
That is an excuse to go and bomb the shit out of Beirut again. And they're telling people to leave Beirut. They want to bomb it. They want to take over. I mean, some of the stuff that Ben Gvir is saying, that for every tear shed by an Israeli mother, there'll be 1,000 Lebanese mothers who shed tears, all this sort of stuff. And, they're just continuing to completely decimate the place. Huge airstrikes in Lebanon and in Beirut. And that was a place called Hafour, which is in Lebanon. And it's horrendous what they're doing. And they're not leaving. They're refusing to leave, regardless of what Trump says. And there's this whole apparent rift building between the United States and Israel. And Trump is threatening to withdraw some funding from Israel and blah, blah, blah.
Bullshit.
But it doesn't matter, because even if they remove federal funding, I mean, every town, every county, every major municipality is funding Israel in the United States.
Did you hear that? Listen to what he just said.
Whenever I bring up the fact that our infrastructure is falling apart and it's Israel's fault, everybody goes, oh, you just want to blame the Jews. All right, sit down and let me show you how it goes. Everybody knows about the federal funding we give Israel. Yeah. The country, America as a whole, gives federal funding. Every state in this country gives funding to Israel. Almost every city in every state gives funding to Israel. San Marcos, tiny little city in Texas, was going through its budget because they had a bunch of potholes. Because San Marcos went through their budget and said, wait a second, why are we giving $4.4 million to we're tiny
They don't even know that their money is getting stolen by Israel. Let that sink in. Every little city and town in the U.S. is funding millions of dollars to Israel instead of fixing the infrastructure and the potholes in the street.
To Israel, we have potholes. People can't even drive. So the city, the residents voted, we don't want to give them any money. Guess what old Governor Wheelchair Abbott said?
So the city got together and voted and said, hey, represent us. We don't want you to send any more money to Israel. We want our money to be for us. Guess what they did?
Came rolling through, said if you do that, you are not going to get any funding from the state or any of your federal funding. So yes, I am sure that Israel is a vassal state and we are just willingly doing it.
There's been so many reports on this. I mean, they're taking over everywhere. This is why they're being so bold at the moment. They've got this initiative. They're taking over everything in Ukraine. They're taking over all these islands off Greek. They've sort of bought 40 Greek islands. This whole project they've got going on in Albania, which is still ongoing, actually. Like, the protests are still there in Albania. It started off just protesting this island that was being bought by Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner. And now they want to replace the government. They want to replace all the people that were involved.
They should kill everybody in the government for this. Whoever, especially the top guy, execute that fucker in public.
With this.
Literally, all of these people at the tops of the countries need to be executed. You don't even have to kill the whole government, just the whole upper.
No selling off Albania. We want you all gone. That's basically the attitude of the place.
You really don't even have to kill the whole government. You have to kill every one who's given orders. Anybody in the government who gives an order to anyone, they got to die. I wish the Americans were like the Albanians, but the Americans are a bunch of fucking domesticated retard pussy faggots. Holy fuck, I'm going to go to Albania if they don't get invaded first. As long as they don't get invaded. I'm kidding.
So that's interesting to see.
I'm not going anywhere. If anybody leaves, nobody makes me leave. I make you leave.
They're just not letting up on that. But yeah, they're buying up places all over, folks, or at least they're trying to. I mean, like I said, Argentina, Patagonia, the islands off Greece, Albania, Ukraine. They're buying up huge sections of the Sacred Valley in Peru as well, putting in communities in Cuzco and buying up huge sections of Pisac. Pisac is an incredible place in the Sacred Valley. Beautiful, beautiful little town. It's the last place that you want to have Israeli Chabad Lubavitch enclaves setting up. But that appears to be what they're doing, which is very concerning. Also in Australia, wouldn't you know it? Gina Rinehart, Australian billionaire, $38 billion, the richest woman in Australia, mining magnate, got her inheritance from her father, who was a complete sociopath, total eugenicist, said that poor people didn't really have the right to exist in society, basically. And
Poor people just don't have the right to exist in a rigged system that makes you poor.
Should be sort of euthanized and
That's the mentality of the rich. That's why I will kill every one of you I can.
stopped from breeding. This is Gina Rinehart.
Rich people are what you call the ticks and fleas, the parasites of the human vessels. The parasites, there is a small group out of the human vessels here that are just like parasites. They're ticks, and they're called the rich people. Rich people are parasites. They're ticks that have taken more, that have taken from everyone else. They have taken what's not theirs. So when people are rich in a world like this, it means you are a thief. You have stolen money. Anyone here who is rich is automatically and inherently a thief. You took what wasn't yours. You came into the buffet table and you took all the food and didn't let anyone else eat. That makes you a pedophile freak show.
Reinhardt's father, she wants to give away an old military base in Townsville in Queensland, Australia.
Rich people is that pedophile deranged fat fuck that goes to the buffet and eats all the food so you can't have any. Imagine that, all these rich fat fingered fucking pieces of shit.
Wants to give it away to Israel so they can build drones there.
Townsville made important history years ago as a Navy base at Townsville, helping defend our country in World War II. I understand, and of course, also aircraft facilities of course. I understand many veteran families still live in this area. That important culture, very important culture, could flourish again if we also offered free land, be that near prairie if suitable or other.
It was already free when everybody was born here. It's a group of people saying you got to give them money. That's the problem here. I told you, you can't allow a group of people to rule over the world and accumulate so much power to where you can't fight back. That's the problem with the whole world here, is that you're being ruled. Okay, you can talk about this and that. It's all fucking stupid shit that wouldn't exist if you actually address the core root of the problem, which is a group of people can't rule everyone else. Okay?
Elsewhere near Townsville.
So you get this simple concept of freedom, free from being ruled, freedom, free from being ruled, then you're all a bunch of fucking retards and you deserve to die.
For the Israelis and transport here for their skilled people, immediate families and equipment, and encourage the Israelis to develop and build their advanced war drones and or other advances in defense, and or improve upon their Israeli-style domes and manufacture them here to sell.
That's called a useful fucking retard idiot, dude. They're all there. All these Christian retards are so mentally ill and deranged. It's mind-boggling. Your support will be the demise of one nation and all Australians because of your actions of bringing the synagogue of Satan into this nation, as has been for all nations for 2,000 years. My people perish for the lack of knowledge.
Yeah, wonderful idea. She doesn't want to give away any of her land. She wants to give away Australia's land for free and provide free transport for them and all that sort of stuff so they can build weapons of war. So
they can build weapons of war to even make the world even worse than it is now, these fucking retards. They all gotta die. I'll literally choke your ass.
Drones so they can kill more children in Gaza. And of course, none of these surveillance drones would ever be used on the Australian people. Of course not. And in the spirit of that, in Western...
By the way, both Max Egan and Jeff Berwick are the worst when it comes to sarcasm. They don't understand it, man. They're so dumb.
Australia now, they are bringing in biometrics, real-time live biometric surveillance systems. They've had these in place in Darwin for a little while. They haven't told anybody. This is being pushed as a trial that they're doing this in Australia as the first trial. But actually, like I said, they've actually done this before. They've done this in Darwin because Darwin is basically a Chinese port. And they're bringing in real-time biometrics. Of course, it's to protect the children, just because we don't want any pedophiles in places where they shouldn't be around innocent children, although most of the government are pedophiles and most of the police are involved in child trafficking. And Western Australia is actually the most brutal police force in Australia, the most totalitarian state in Australia. It makes Victoria look like a playground. And these guys want to bring in real-time biometric tracking to protect children, of course, from pedophiles. And they say also because to find people with dementia, like old people with dementia who might be out lost, wandering around in the crowd, as you see these people all the time when you go out in Western
It's
Australia.
a really big problem. We got to come up with a solution for that. I mean, they're walking around everywhere. It's mental illness. These people are so deranged.
You see old people with dementia lost, just wandering aimlessly around in the crowd, of course. And also people who might have arrest warrants out on them. Will help the police to find all of these people and keep society more safe, especially to protect the children and the old people. But it's not mass surveillance. We've got to put all this in and have this real-time mass surveillance of everything biometrically in real time all the time just to protect the children, but it's not mass surveillance.
For years, police have been able to match faces of criminals or missing people with CCTV.
For years, police have been able to match people's faces.
But never in real time. That's about to change here.
Now we can fucking track you real time, stupid slave, like you're in a prison. Like, you know, when you go to prison. Now we just do it with an open air prison, and we build the prison around you and they won't even know it. We'll just build the prison right around these retards, and when they fucking finally wake up, it'll be too late because the walls will be built around them and they won't be able to get out now because they were too fucking naive and complacent.
In WA, our officers will be the first in the nation to trial real-time facial recognition cameras in designated public areas. The technology scans crowds and cross-references faces with
like Flock. Get the fuck out of here.
A database of targets.
This is not about mass surveillance. This is about...
Yes, it is. You just fucking lied. The first thing I ever heard out of your mouth was a diarrhea shit-stained lie. If I ever see you, I'll just fucking kill you for that.
Specifying those in our community who are wanted by police because there is an arrest warrant out for them, who are on sex offender lists, who should...
You can lie to your fucking friends and family, but don't fucking lie to me. I'll chop your fucking head off.
...not be in the vicinity, particularly...
Don't you fucking lie to me.
...of young children.
Don't you fucking lie to me.
But it's also about helping missing people or older people with dementia who have gone missing, and identifying them in crowds so we can return them to their loved ones.
Yeah, and you can see where all this is going, folks.
I wish I could have that dude tied up right now, sitting right here. I would fucking make him hurt so bad.
You really can. And that's what all these data centers and all this stuff is for. They're bringing out underneath everything else. You know, with all the theatrics going on.
I can't wait to tie me up somebody and fucking get some payback on government.
For the supply chain. See, all this stuff, the Trump's peace talks and all this sort of shit, it's all about keeping the supply chain shut. Of course, you know that Israel's going to undermine any peace talks. That's what Israel's going to do. And this whole rift that Trump is apparently having with Israel. Well, when Israel broke the ceasefire and started bombing Lebanon, Trump had included Lebanon in the agreement with Iran. So with Israel being America's ally and Lebanon being included in the peace deal in order to get the Straits of Hormuz open, which is what's going on, this is all in America's interests, then Israel bombing Lebanon in violation of this peace agreement Trump has just put in place
goes against everybody's interest. Except Israel, except pedophile Israel. Oh, the poor Jewish supremacist fucking rejects that look like incest-bred goats.
Is Israel attacking American interests. So what does Trump do in response? He threatens to bomb Iran.
Yeah, you can't make it up.
Oh, yeah, it makes sense.
You literally can't make it up how mentally ill Trump is. He always has been.
You know? And then they're complaining, saying, well...
Didn't you guys learn your lesson watching this guy on that show?
Iran left the negotiating table without even saying anything. They completely snubbed J.D. Vance and just left. This is, you can't trust terrorists. You know, well, hang on a minute. Trump threatened that if they didn't sign the deal, they wouldn't make it home.
Trump threatened that if they didn't sign the deal, they'd all be murdered. Like what kind of mentally ill deranged idiot says that when you're trying to fucking have peace with somebody? It's madness.
And then he threatened to bomb them in response to Israel breaking the ceasefire agreement.
Yeah, Israel breaks the ceasefire and he threatens Iran instead of Israel. Make it make sense, pedophile. You fucking pedophile, fucking child raping piece of shit. I'm just going to call Trump's new nickname is Child Raper. So just so you know who I'm talking about, you should know anyway, but Trump's new nickname is Child Raper, Children Raper. So just let that be known. That's who I'm talking about when I say Child Raper. It's Trump.
How does this work? And bear in mind how this whole thing started on February.
Trump's new nickname now is forever, and now will be Child Raper Trump. Child Raper Trump. That's how I will say his name from here on out. Child Raper Trump.
February 28th was when America bombed Iran, took out the supreme leader, and killed 168 school children while they were sitting at the negotiating table having peace talks.
Let that sink in. They invite them to the peace table, and while they're there, they attack them and murder their children. Let that sink in. Who's the terrorist now? Who's the terrorist now? The United States and Israel have always been the terrorists. Iran has never committed one terrorist attack. Self-defense is not terrorism.
So why on earth would Iran even consider coming back to the negotiating table with these people? Yet they
have to be a fucking retard to negotiate with somebody who just murdered all your negotiators, right?
Have done at least 2 or 3 times through this process. Why would they consider doing it again when Trump threatens them the way he has?
And then on top of it, after they murdered all these fucking people, now
just doing all this crazy shit, like having parties on the White House lawn and all that sort of shit.
Trump threatens them, man. I mean, their lives. He literally threatens their lives again.
The money that he spent on the pool, $14 million to fix up the
literally diarrhea shits on everything he touches.
The reflection pool. And he uses dark paint, which reflects the sun and heats up a lot.
Dark paint absorbs the sun, you fucking idiot. Light paint reflects it. And it was called the reflecting pool for a reason. That's the whole point of it. It reflects so you don't get algae buildup and all that shit. That's why it's a reflecting pool. It has to reflect. He went and painted it when you can't do that. You can't do that. He diarrhea shitted on that whole thing. It has to reflect. So do you understand? If he doesn't understand the reality and physics, I mean, it's common sense. It has to reflect, not absorb light. You stupid shit.
Used water apparently from the local river, which is known for its algae blooms. And within 4 days, the whole pool's green again. And then he suggests that someone...
Now it's vandalous. When you have 24 hours, 24/7 security with 0 video evidence. Show the video. It's all monitored. Where's the video? Show the dude cutting it, you idiot. It's the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life. But let's get past all this shit. This is nothing.
Hydrogen peroxide in paint. A knife like a box blade. And nobody saw them, of course.
Powerful rubber.
No, we're not listening to pedophile Trump.
3 years ago.
I don't listen to pedophiles. I don't listen to child rapers. Child raper Trump.
I showed you on a report. I was talking about the Internet of Bodies and the Internet of Things. And it was when I was rolling out all this 5G smart system, and we were discovering what the graphene was doing in people's bodies, how it's setting up all these operating systems inside people and all sorts of stuff like this. And I showed you...
Idiots think they have all this technology, dude. This is how dumb... These people will believe anything, dude. This guy will believe anything.
This
guy will fucking believe anything. He believes the dumbest, most craziest shit.
Chinese surveillance system is actually doing in China, just how much control they've got over the people in China. And remember, I showed you this back in 2023. I'll just show you a little bit more of it here. And this is where they're heading. This is all because people use smartphones and carry these smart devices and have smart fridges and smart everything in their homes, which they're pushing more towards. Actually, there was a post.
They're going to monitor everything in your house now, and there's nothing you can do about it. They're going to mandate it.
In Telegram.
Yeah, you have to obey us. You have to let us fucking do whatever we want to you. And if we don't like it, we'll ban it. And if we want you to make you have it, we'll mandate it. Because that's what we do. We rule over you.
That I saw by someone, obviously an Australian. Thanks for making this post, John, I believe it was. Just a couple of paragraphs of it, like some of the stuff that they're pushing out. And this is what he said in the Telegram post.
Globalist UN plans involve unleashing massive increases in costs, huge rate hikes, massive fines for infringements, and unaffordable legal battles onto landowners to force them off their land. Toss in huge planned increases in the cost of living, and it's easy to see the monstrous endgame. Precious pampered fools clinging to heavily mortgaged, unaffordable residential properties are to face massive
horrible listening to him read.
Costs associated with compliance, with soon new to be released upgrades to dwellings where even older refrigerators will be pronounced illegal.
He doesn't read like you're talking normal like I do. He reads like you're reading. It's idiotic.
Older solar systems will be upgraded or you will be fined. Solar hot water systems, same. Aircon, same. Heating appliances, same. Compulsory smoke alarms will carry cameras and microphones. Light switches, lighting and power points will be connected to surveillance and external remote control via smart meters. Property owners will be forced to pay for it all. Fail to comply, get fined. Fines will likely accrue on a daily basis. Any property owner unable to keep up with the escalating costs and fines will have services cut. Missed payments, get evicted.
Yeah, and that's all really spot on. That's what they're doing. This is the stuff that we talked about for years. See, Agenda 2030, all the stuff that happens in Australia, and it's probably the same in many countries. You know, we see all this stuff coming on, all this Agenda 2030 stuff, all this surveillance, all of this tracking, all this biometrics, and we protest it on a state level. And I'm sure that's happening in Australia. There's people protesting their state government saying we don't want this. Probably even protesting the federal government saying we don't want this. But what they don't understand is that it's all being rolled out by local councils. It isn't state governments, it's local councils. Local councils in Australia actually are not government bodies. We voted against giving local councils government powers in 1973. We had a referendum, we all voted no, but they introduced the Australia Act anyway and gave them government powers. But at the end of the Australia Act, it says, and one of the last clauses, it says, but the Constitution is not affected, which essentially makes the entire Australia Act null and void should we choose to enact the Constitution and the Supreme Court. See, local councils attempting to force any fine on you or any rule or regulation on you in Australia, if they're attempting to do that, it's actually a constitutional matter for the Supreme Court. There's no point going to local magistrates' court and attempting to challenge a council fine because they own the magistrates' court. It's basically just a mouthpiece for them. It's just a money collection agency for the local council, really. But the local council doesn't have any real authority in Australia. These are all Supreme Court matters. But anyway, getting away from that, all local councils in Australia actually belong to an association called the Municipality Association.
Oh, yeah. By the way, I watched a video where they got this new car where it's always barking orders at them and you're not keeping your eyes good enough and you're not sitting up straight. And they hate these new cars now. They can't shut it off. They don't want them now. They're like, this isn't mental illness.
And the Australian Municipality Association receives its orders directly from the United Nations. And this is where all the Agenda 2030 stuff comes from. So this is the only way to address it in Australia. There's no good doing it with your state government or anything like that. You've got to do it with your local council. And we have the power to do it. Another thing about all these data centers and stuff, I mean, the water that they use is ridiculous. I'll get onto that a little bit later. But anyway, getting back to this Chinese thing, this is something that I showed you back in, I think, 2023. And this is some of the stuff that the data centers will be doing. And this is what they do.
Yeah, watch this.
People use.
Watch this video.
China is tracking 1.4 billion people using AI. And
see, you just diarrhea shit all over your own face because I did the math and there's only 1 billion people, 1.5 billion to be safe. So when you say China has that many people, you just diarrhea shit all over your face. They do not. It's ridiculous.
And the system they've built is more extreme than anything you've probably imagined. We're talking about a surveillance network.
Like when they say Elon Musk is the richest man in the world, when he's the offspring of the families that have been accumulating wealth for hundreds of years, and they got the Federal Reserve, they can create money out of thin air. They got all the money, but Elon's the richest, who just was born. This is how dumb they are. They're so fucking dumb here because the TV repeats and regurgitates it again and again as propaganda, and they can't help but regurgitate it. The misinformation, the lies, the disinformation.
Network so vast, so intelligent, that it can identify a single face in a crowd of millions in less than 3 seconds. This isn't science fiction. This is happening right now, powered by artificial intelligence that's rewriting the rules of what's possible. Let me show you exactly how they're doing it. The foundation of this entire system starts with something you probably didn't know existed. Picture this: 700 million cameras. You heard that right. 700 million AI-powered cameras watching every street, every subway station.
That's 750 million cameras.
Every public space across China. They call it Skynet. And yes, they even named it Skynet to say, fuck you, slave. Aimed it after the artificial intelligence system from Terminator. But here's where it gets unsettling.
Because that's the whole point of Terminator, to precondition you for what they want to do to you. That's why there's so many dystopian movies out there, because that's rich people's wet dream. The powers that shouldn't be.
That's roughly 1 camera for every 2 people in the entire country. In major cities like Beijing and Shanghai, the ratio is even tighter. 1 camera for every person. Imagine walking down your street and knowing that at any given moment, at least 3 or 4 cameras have you in.
It's a big open air prison of slave idiots, like animals. It's like a bunch of chickens in a fucking cage, or cattle, or livestock. You know, a whole bunch of goats or sheep in a fenced in area.
In their view, these aren't your typical security cameras either. Each one is connected to a neural network that's constantly learning, constantly analyzing. They're equipped with facial recognition software that can process your features in real time. Your face becomes data the moment you step outside your door. The Sharp Eyes program took this even further. It integrated private security cameras, the ones outside shops and apartment buildings, into the same network. Suddenly, it wasn't just government cameras watching you. Every camera became part of the system. The coverage reached 99% in urban areas. But the cameras are just the beginning. What they can actually do with those images is where things get truly extreme. Here's what most people don't understand about China's facial recognition technology. It's not just identifying faces. It's identifying you from a database of 1.4 billion people in under 3 seconds. Think about that. Your unique face, pulled from more than 1 billion others, faster than you can blink twice. The AI doesn't need a perfect angle either. Tilted head, covered partially by a scarf, wearing sunglasses, the system adapts. It maps 30,000 points on your face, creating a mathematical signature that's uniquely yours. Even in a packed subway station with thousands of people rushing past, The AI tracks each individual face simultaneously. But then came something nobody expected: gait recognition. You thought covering your face would help? The AI learned to identify people by the way they walk.
By their movement and body language. Again, so you just walk with a fucking limp now when you're trying to deceive it.
Your stride length, the way your arms...
He can't even think of that. He's so dumb. He thinks, oh, he doesn't even come up with that.
Swing, how your hips move, the subtle rhythm of your steps. Every person walks differently, and the artificial intelligence figured out how to weaponize that uniqueness. You can change your clothes, wear a mask, even alter your hairstyle. But you can't hide your walk.
Yes, you can. Yes, you fucking can, you fucking idiot. You can absolutely walk the way you never normally walk, you dumb fucking retard. Again, there you go. Diarrhea shitting all over your own face, stupid.
The system operates in complete darkness too. Infrared cameras combined with AI enhancement mean night doesn't exist for this network. Low light, heavy rain, dense fog, none of it matters. The surveillance never stops, never sleeps, never loses sight of you. And here's where it gets even more invasive. The AI doesn't just see you in one location and forget. The moment one camera identifies you, every other camera in the network knows exactly who you are. You're not just being watched, you're being followed.
Now that's extremely significant to understand. You're not just being watched. You're being followed by a pedophile. You're being followed. You're being stalked right now. You're going to be stalked like a pedophile stalk, and the pedophile will be the one stalking you.
Think about your daily routine. You leave your apartment building.
Literally, this mass surveillance system is nothing more than a stalking system where everybody is literally being stalked by the government. Imagine that, how creepy that is. The government stalking everyone like a sex offender that it is. Like the child raper that it is.
Building. The camera at the entrance.
Child raper Trump.
Logs your face. You walk 3 blocks to the subway. 12 different cameras have tracked your movement along that route. You enter the station. The AI notes your exact entry, time, and location. You board the train. Cameras in...
What's right here is annoying as shit. If I see a politician, I'm just going to pop your head off like a zit.
Inside, identify which car you chose, where you sat,
You
who
are
sat
in
near you. Then you transfer
You'd
lines.
be in danger, but we live in a world of a bunch of pussies.
The system doesn't lose you. It predicts which exit you'll use based on your previous patterns. And when you emerge 20 minutes later on the other side of the city,
The reason all of this has been allowed to exist and come at us like this is because we're dealing with a bunch of pussies right now. We live in a world full of pussies. The men aren't men. They're wearing makeup and shit.
the cameras are already waiting. They knew you were coming. This isn't tracking one person.
Real men would have never allowed this shit to happen.
This is tracking everyone simultaneously. Millions of people moving through a city, and the AI maintains a continuous...
China's already captured. Are you going to be captured too, like these dumb fucking retards?
thread for each individual. Your morning coffee shop.
Naive, complacent, domesticated chickens is what they are. You're looking at barnyard fucking animals. That's how dumb they are. Look at them. Look what they allowed happen to them. I got no respect for any of these motherfuckers. Zero. Look what you allowed to happen to you. How can I respect you in any way as a human being? China, I don't have any respect for you.
Job. Your lunch spot. The park where you meet friends. Every location builds a pattern, and the artificial intelligence remembers it all. But the cameras can see more than just...
It tells me Chinese people are a weak people to allow themselves to be captured like this. The Chinese people are looking inherently weak to me in every way, physically, mentally, and spiritually, to allow this to happen to them. They let it happen first before anyone else. These are the weak link of humans, the Chinese.
Just where you go. They can see what you're feeling. The AI was trained...
You are the weakest link. One of them. You're one of them. You're not the only one.
...on millions of facial expressions. Happiness, anger, fear, stress, confusion.
They are the weakest link.
The micro movements
damn.
of your facial muscles betray your emotional state. and the system reads them in real time. You might think you're hiding your frustration, but 43 muscle movements in your face just told the AI everything.
Put 43 muscle movements in your face.
Then came the integration that made the system truly omnipresent.
Let's integrate it now.
Your phone isn't just in your pocket. It's broadcasting your location every single second. And China's AI surveillance system is listening. Every smartphone connects to cell towers, to Wi-Fi networks, to Bluetooth signals. The AI tracks these connections. It knows your device ID, and it links that device directly to your face from the camera network. Now, the system doesn't just
China's been captured by the New World Order already.
See you on the street.
Who's the New World Order? The powers that shouldn't be.
It knows where you are when you're inside buildings, where cameras can't reach. Your car isn't invisible either. License plate recognition runs on the same AI network. Every vehicle that
You don't have nowhere to hide.
passes a camera
You can
gets
run, but you can't. No, you can't run either.
The system knows your car, knows it's registered to you, and tracks every.
It knows everything because you let it know everything. And when and that it's a violation of the Fourth Amendment.
Every journey you make.
Probably a bunch of other ones, but it's toilet paper anyway. You don't get to write down rules for me.
Highway cameras, parking garage cameras, traffic light cameras. They
Don't get to tell me what my rights are. I tell you what my rights are.
all feed into the same database. But here's where it gets truly invasive. Voice recognition. The AI can identify individuals by their voice patterns in public spaces, train stations, airports, shopping centers. Microphones, embedded in surveillance systems, pick up conversations. The artificial intelligence isolates individual voices from background noise and matches them to profiles. You thought a phone call was private? The system can recognize your voice in a crowd of hundreds. Then they connected financial transactions. Every purchase you make with digital payment, every scan of a QR code, every tap of your phone at a register. The AI logs it. Not just what you bought, but where you were when you bought it, creating another data point in your movement pattern. And still, they pushed the technology even further. The system stopped just watching what you do. It started predicting what you'll do next. Every route you've ever taken gets fed into machine learning algorithms. Every place you visited, every time you visit
Pattern recognition algorithms.
it, every deviation from your routine. The AI builds a behavioral model so detailed that it knows your patterns better than you do.
Yes, that's pretty freaky stuff, folks. And of course, I've tested all this
It's really annoying.
stuff on.
Again, what goes around comes around. That's what they want to do here. That's their wet dream. And stupid Chinese people let it happen to them first. The dumb fucking retards.
Of targets and stuff in Gaza and stuff. I showed you before all the Palantir stuff that they've been using. They've been mapping people's panic patterns by monitoring people's phones in Gaza when they bomb them. Palantir's been getting a wealth of information from them. And they're still bombing Gaza. They're still hitting 10 cities. Gaza is a wasteland, folks. It's interesting. I saw a picture from there the other day. When I stayed in Gaza, I was about 2 or 3 blocks down from the boat harbor where I was staying in a motel. We're in like a 4-story walk up in this motel. And now, taken from just up at the boat harbor, the scene in Gaza is absolutely horrific. Like, you've got 170,000 tents near the boat harbor in Gaza City. And Gaza is so narrow now. Like, Gaza was only 6 miles wide at the top, about maybe 7 or 8 miles wide at the bottom, those 2 little wide bits. And then it was about 4 miles wide for most of the Gaza Strip. Now, most of that is taken over. 70% of that is taken over by Israel now. Look at that yellow line there. If you go anywhere near the yellow line, you get dealt with.
لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله راح فيها الراجل لا حول ولا قوة إلا عيلة كاملة يا الله عيلة كاملة. ارجع ارجع مشى.
Yeah, you don't want to see a tank when you're out driving and you don't realise that there's a yellow bollard at the end of the road there. They'll just take you out. I took out a schoolgirl the other day, 17 years old, on her way to do her final exam. They bombed
They took out a 17-year-old girl on her way to take her final exam.
her car, hit it with a missile, and then when the rescue crews arrived,
Hit her civilian car with a missile. How does she's not military. How does she fight back?
of course, they hit it again, double tapped it, and took out the rescue crews. This is what they do. I mean, I could show you so many videos of stuff they're doing, folks. They're stealing children in West Bank, like all the time. Like it's gone up massively. Like you've got settlers just marauding across West Bank, like 100 settlers who just go and take out 3 or 4 villages, just trash everybody's homes, set fire to cars, beat people up with clubs, steal children. This is one of the favorite things they're doing. I mean, so many videos coming through of young kids.
Yeah, the Israelis love stealing Palestinian children. They have children prisons. Talk about a war crime. A deranged pedophile genocidal terrorist state called Israel, Jewish supremacists, have children prisons and target babies to murder them so they don't grow up to be against them.
Kids, you know, look like they're between 6 to 13 years old, getting taken by Israeli soldiers for no reason whatsoever, just taken. They like to take them to rape camps, and they also like to traumatize them, but they like to do it because it traumatizes the parents and disheartens the parents as well, because the parents often see their children kidnapped at gunpoint in front of them, knowing that there's nothing they can do about it, because if they do, the whole family will be killed and their house will be destroyed. So they've just got to hope that their child is released. It's just tormenting for these people. I mean, I could show you so much stuff, but it gets depressing. We know what's going on. By the way, the doctor that was appealing was sentenced back to solitary. His appeal was rejected. So, I mean, we know what's going on. But more and more people are speaking out about it, which is really, really good to see. And it's kind of good seeing this rift building in the United States with the United States. But I think a lot of this is theater as well, because, like I said, Donald Trump didn't go and bomb Israel when they broke the ceasefire. He actually threatened Iran. So what the hell is that all about, you know? But I think they need to do this. They need to have something like this to serve as a pressure relief valve for people, because everyone's had enough of Israel. They seriously have had enough. But also Israel's saying it's going to step away. And seriously, like, the whole world needs to unite against Israel. And I think all these pressure relief valves and all the things they need to do, I mean, Israel's really, really gone hard with what it's done through the ethnic cleansing of Gaza, and now the...
I just pulled another tick off, buddy.
The abhorrent ethnic cleansing that's going on in Lebanon, which is exactly what it is. They're destroying entire villages. There's nothing about this which is warlike. And look, it's interesting because they say they're not ethnically cleansing the people. And by the same token, they'll tell you they're fighting according to the rules of the Torah. And the Torah actually calls for ethnic cleansing. It's part of the Jewish faith.
Do not have mercy on the children. Kill all their children also. Why? There's no difference between mercy on the children. Kill all their children also. Why? Do not have mercy on the children. Kill all their children also. Why? Do not have mercy on the children. Kill all their children also. Why? Do not have mercy on the children. Kill all their children also. Why? There's no difference. Not have mercy on the children. Kill all their children also. Why? There's no difference between them and their children. In 10 years from now, these children will attack you on the way. Hashem knows, God knows.
There is no permission from the Torah to have any mercy whatsoever during war. Not on children, not on women, not on anybody. Not on children, not on women, not on anybody. Not on children, not on women, not on anybody.
This is how they talk. This is how the deranged weirdos talk.
We're not playing by your rules. We're playing by the rules of the Torah. Verse in the whole Bible, it says, happy as the mother takes the infants of Babel, and the Bedouin smashes them on the rock. Jews were happy in Babel, and the Bedouin smashes them on the rock. Jews, infants of Babel, and the Bedouin smashes them on the rock.
And smashes them into the rocks. That's what he said. He wants to grab your baby and smash it into the rocks. That fucking pedophile looking fuck.
Jews were happy to kill Palestinian children in the war in Gaza because we to kill Palestinian children in the war in Gaza. Happy to kill Palestinian children in the war in Gaza. Happy to kill Palestinian children in the war in Gaza because we are a blood cult. We are a death cult.
Yeah, it's part of the way they conduct war. It's part of the way they conduct themselves. And many of them say that they're quite happy about it. There was a post from IDF soldiers saying, yeah, he will kill the children. He will do whatever it takes. And he's happy to do so because by doing so, he's destroying Amalek. And this is...
People call us baby killers, but you know what? They're not wrong, and we should not be ashamed of it. I'm proud to be one because this is what fucking some dumb retard said. To kill the Amalek, that includes men, women, baby animals, and even their trees. They're attacking the world, nature. They're attacking nature around you. I served, if you want to call it that. I served in the IDF in Gaza with the 84, blah, blah, blah. Many of us saw any issues with it, and not many of us saw any issues with it. In fact, we were encouraged at times. Of course you were. Of course you were. I feel no emotion when it comes to this. They need to be dead, and we need all of our land back. All of it. It's not your land. Like, that's the problem with your mental illness. When some pedophile says some mentally ill shit, you can't just take it for reality.
It's just the way they're programmed to think. It's pretty freaky stuff, folks. And the thing is, Israel isn't going to stop. Israel isn't going to stop until...
Yeah. Israel's already planning wars with Turkey, Syria, everyone.
There's only Jews left on earth. That's what this victim mentality does. There was another guy who wrote a post on X, which I've kind of modified a little bit to suit the entire world, so it's not so Americentric.
The rules. 1. Every politician on earth must prioritize Israel over their own country. 2. Israel can mass murder, brutalize, and torture civilians for self-defense. 3. Israel can invade, occupy, and destroy any neighboring country for self-defense. 4. Israel can massacre children, hospital patients, aid workers, and journalists for self-defense. 5. Israel can kidnap, beat, and rape foreign nationals in international waters for any reason. 6. Every person engaged in aid work or emergency services for Israel's victims is a terrorist. 7. Every person resisting Israel's invasion of their country is a terrorist. 8. Anyone who questions Israel's crimes, existence, or policies is guilty of anti-Semitism and blood libel.
They're anti-Septic. And guess what? You're not a Semite. You're a Polak. You're a fucking Bolshevik.
9. Anyone on earth who questions Zionism, the divine right of European Bolshevik Jews to claim Palestinian land, is an anti-Semite. 10. Anti-Semitism is the worst offense a human can commit and must be met with instant global condemnation and severe punishment. This post is not hyperbole. These have been the fundamental rules regarding Israel and Zionism for decades. That's only now beginning to change.
But basically, this is what's happening. I mean, Jews are taking over the entire world. They've set up fifth columns in all their countries. Things like Lakewood, New Jersey, what's going on in Kiryas in upstate New York, what they're doing in Argentina, what they're doing in Ukraine, what they're doing in Greece, what they want to do in Armenia, what they want to do in Australia, what they're doing in Pisac, what they're doing here in Mexico. And as I mentioned before, they want to take over the entire Baja Peninsula. Yeah, and people still think there's only 15 million of these people. Come on. There's at least 100 to 200 million, if not more, of these people. They are certainly not a minority on Earth. The white people are actually a minority on Earth. But anyway, that's another story. But where was I going? I was going somewhere with that. All this rift and all of this stuff that they're doing, I mean, I think they've played their hand a little bit hard. And too many people are seeing it now, and too many people are seeing that their governments are in cahoots with this tribe. Everyone's working together for the same thing. I mean, the Epstein files have exposed a lot of that. I mean, Epstein was obviously working for Mossad. The whole thing was a blackmail operation, but more than that, it was a club. There might have been some people that needed blackmailing in that association, people they would bring in there. They'd bring them in and say, well, now that you're in, just know that we've got dirt on you. So, yeah, all this stuff's on video. So if we need it, we'll pull it up. So you work for us now. But they would have had to have been pretty corrupt to have gotten into that situation to begin with, unless they were just caught with an underage hooker who they thought was of age, you know. You do a lot with a good makeup job in a dark room, you know, so. But I think they're all pretty corrupt anyway, and they're all bought and paid for. We know just how corrupt and how deep this all goes. And a lot of people are seeing it. They've done everything they can to distract from the Epstein files, right down to having UFC games at the White House and cleaning the reflection pool. But none of it really seems to be working. And so they've got to offer you some sort of a hopeful outcome. Oh, look, everybody's turning against Israel. And they should. I mean, honestly, the whole world should turn against Israel. The entire world needs to go and just wipe the place out. I mean, even with the 9,000 Palestinians that are being held there in Israeli prisons, they would be better off dead than what they're going through in these Israeli prisons. Yeah. Trust me on this, and they've even suggested as much themselves. I mean, they would be far better off dead than what they're suffering at the hands of these Israeli terrorists in these hellholes.
Savages.
I mean, these prisons
They're
are
savages. Demons.
Network of rape camps. That's all they are.
Aliens.
And the world is at war with this country, but they don't know it. It's the problem, you know, like all of the.
Yeah, it is a problem. The war, I mean.
The migrant situation. I've gone through this so many times. No, it's the problem, you know. The world is at war with this country, but they don't know it. It's the problem, you know. Like
the world is at war with this country, but they don't know it, and that's the problem.
All of the migrant situation. I've gone through this so many times. Like Israel and the United States. Israel controls the West. It's controlled England for a long time. It's controlled so many countries.
Yeah, Israel completely controls the UK, New Zealand, and Australia, and Canada.
And more so since...
Yeah, you can rest assured that Israel has successfully taken over the UK, Australia, New Zealand, and Canada, and the US.
The Second World War riding on the back.
And there's a shit ton more.
Of the Holocaust.
They've infested and invaded Italy, France, everything, man. And they're getting sick of it, some of these Italians.
And the Holocaust just didn't happen. Like I showed you on the last video, there was that book that came out by the United States military, which was an account of World War II, And it didn't mention the Holocaust. There was someone who posted on my BitChute channel as well, and he pointed out as well that there was also a book written by Winston Churchill, who's a complete cad. Don't get me started on Winston Churchill, but he demonized the Germans. You would think that if he had information about Jewish death camps, he would have mentioned it in his memoirs. He wrote a 6-book series of memoirs on World War II, not one mention of the Holocaust or gas chambers.
Why would you need gas chambers when all you have to do is just starve people out in an open air prison like they did? The real Holocaust was the civilian German population who were starved out by the Soviet Union and the United States of America. That's the real Holocaust, the murder of German civilians.
There's also a book.
They rounded them up and put them in open air prisons and let them starve. They rounded up the German civilian population and put them in open prisons and starved them to death. There's video.
I think 500 or 600 pages written by Dwight Eisenhower.
I've seen the videos of these prisons of the German population.
No mention of the Holocaust or gas chambers. There was also a 3-volume series written by Charles de Gaulle, the president of France. Also, no mention of the Holocaust or gas chambers. I recall now as well, when I was a kid, I mean, I was pretty much into history and stuff when I was a kid. My mother used to get a series, maybe she used to pick it up from the post office, or perhaps it was a Reader's Digest thing or something like that. It came out once a month, or might have been once a week. I don't know, but it was a series of magazines that came out back, I think, in the, would have been probably in the 70s, 60s or 70s, maybe even in the 60s, called The History of the English-Speaking Peoples, which was by Winston Churchill. And I used to read that a lot as well because I was very interested in history when I was a young kid. And there was no mention of the Holocaust in any of those books as well. So the Holocaust didn't happen. And all of this stuff is writing on the back of the Holocaust. In fact,
Holocaust denial, the radical notion that the people who lied about human soap, human skin lampshades, shrunken heads, steam chambers, electric floors, roller coasters of death, anus, gas pumps, and pedal-driven brain-bashing machine aren't telling the truth about death showers.
a lot of information that's come out, and a lot of the stuff they say, I mean, it's all in reverse. I mean, the Jewish people, the Bolshevik Jews, holocausted at least 66 million.
Yeah, the Bolshevik Jews murdered 66 million Russians,
Christians
whatever.
in the Bolshevik Revolution. They holocausted around about
Or Russian Christians.
6 million Ukrainians in Holodomor. There was the 11 million Germans who died in the Rhine Valley camps in Rhine-Wiesenlager. And there's no evidence of any gas chambers. There's no evidence of any Holocaust of Jews happening anywhere at all in World War II. The numbers are completely fictional, and everything they say is fictional, folks.
No, when you look at the numbers, they actually gained in population. Let that sink in. They gained in numbers. So you're fucking stupid, people.
All the stuff they accuse the Palestinians of.
And again, these people in Israel are Bolshevik Jew Polacks. They're not Semitic. They're not native to the land. They're white idiots. They're not brown Semites like Palestinians. They don't belong there. They're European.
So they're hiding weapons in mosques, and they're hiding weapons in schoolrooms, and weapons in playgrounds, and weapons in children's rooms and stuff. This is all stuff that the Jews did in 1946 when they were attempting to stage uprisings in Palestine, because before all this happened, I mean, they all came there in 1945 and 1946, and there were terrorist organizations in amongst them. There was one called Haganah, one called
And then the UK stole Palestinian land and sold it to this group of terrorist pedophiles that became Israel. And it wasn't even their land to sell. The UK illegally sold land that ain't theirs. It's just, fuck the UK too. They're basically Israel. The UK is Israel. Fuck you. Fuck you, the UK.
Ergun and one called the Stern Gang. And these were named terrorist organizations. And they tried all sorts of things. And they had weapons caches all over the place. They had weapons in schools. They had weapons in children's rooms. They had weapons, they had gelignite.
The UK has been sucking Israel dick, and they gave them Israel. The UK gave this group of terrorists land that wasn't theirs. These fucking losers.
Buried under a sand pit, a children's sand pit, saying, no, don't search here, you'll disturb the children. They had huge weapons caches in synagogues and all over the place. They had grenades stuffed into soup cans, hidden in the cupboards, all sorts of stuff. And I would suggest this is what they've also got in a lot of these synagogues and places in the United States. Like
Yeah, let that sink in.
you get a lot of guns. It's easy to get weapons in the United States.
Yeah, no, it's not. They'll put you on the list when you never even committed a crime.
Going on in these places like in
When you try to fight it and get a lawyer, the lawyer takes their side.
Lakewood and in Kiryas.
Because no matter who you hire, the lawyers ultimately work for the court, you idiots. They don't work for you. You pay them, but they don't work for you.
Well, what's going on in the tunnels
I know you think they do, but it's all rigged. None of it should exist.
underneath Brooklyn?
It's all blasphemy to freedom.
Is it just for abusing children, or do they have huge weapons caches under there as well? There's been all sorts of talk of a false flag, and I would fully expect one. I mean, if they're going to pretend that Israel is breaking ties with the United States, and they're doing all sorts of stuff. There was Israeli troops burning a US flag on the front the other day.
Yeah, check this out. This is who you're calling our greatest ally. You know what you can do? Fuck you. Dude, they are nothing like English Americans, dude. They're nothing. They should not have any, we should have nothing to do with these goddamn fucking savages. Look at them. That's your greatest ally. Look at that fucking cocksucker, child raper, child murderer. Everybody in Israel, condones murdering children. These are child murderers. That right there is not America first.
Israeli troops burning a US flag on the front the other day. Yeah, where's the outrage? Yeah, where's the outrage about that? But
but if you try to fucking burn an Israeli flag here, you will be arrested by a pedophile.
The argument is that, well, if you're going to expel Jews, then Muslims are going to stage terror attacks in the United States. This doesn't make any sense at all. Why would Muslims do that? If the United States is...
If you're doing what the Arabs and Muslims want and you give in to them, why are they going to do a terrorist attack when they're getting everything they want? You don't even make sense, you pedophile Israel fucking child raping fucks.
Breaking ties with Israel, wouldn't the Muslims be celebrating that? Why would they want to attack the United States?
Israel is the child raping state, the child raping state, the child murderer state.
And so it was a Muslim...
The terrorist state.
Terror attack. Hey, you guys, come here.
Shut that goddamn idiot up.
What are you doing? Come here. These dogs, they seem to have a problem with this neighbor's front door. I don't know why. But it makes no sense for them to do that. But you can fully expect some sort of a false flag, a terror attack. There was even Jewish posts saying perhaps they need another Pearl Harbor or 9/11 to remember who their friends are. Someone else.
Look at the Israelis threatening a terrorist attack. Maybe USA needs another Pearl Harbor or 9/11 to remember who's the enemy and who's the friend. Yeah, no, we don't. We already know you're the enemy, Israel. We know you're the enemy. We know you did 9/11. Yeah, we know it's not Muslims. We know you're the enemy. We know you're the pedophile fucking child raping fuck. You're the child raper, Ben. If I ever see you, I'll rip your fucking head off and shit down your neck. You will pay dearly. Israeli journalists are now saying that the U.S. needs another 9/11 to realize that Israel is its true friend. That is the most, what you just said is the most mentally ill, deranged shit I've ever heard in my life. Everyone that heard it is now dumber from having to listen to it than before they were.
Said something like a symbolic or something rather bomb in Washington.
One symbolic bomb in Washington will remind Trump that he's not omnipotent. And he is impotent, probably. Yeah, all right. And will restore our national honor. Freudian slip.
Might make all the difference. They had Laura Loomer saying she's fully expecting a terror attack and that it's going to be...
Oh, Larry! What's up, Larry? Your lips look like the south end of a northbound baboon.
Traced back to right-wing podcasters such as Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson, who apparently is now calling for Trump to be arrested, which is what should happen. I'm surprised at some of the stuff Tucker's saying, and Candace as well, for that
matter. Look at the mental illness that comes out of this guy.
But anyway.
Larry.
We know there was those drones that were stolen from Boston about 18 months ago, and I've already said that I wouldn't be surprised to see something happen at the Golden Gate Bridge. Apparently that's out of use at the moment. Apparently it needs repair. So a lot of the world probably doesn't know that. It would be a great way of bringing that down the way they did with the Twin Towers, and you'd be able to maybe even claim it on insurance. Who knows? I wonder if Larry Silverstein's got anything to do with the...
Yeah, you better check and see if anybody made some insurance policies, some new ones. Where's Larry Silverstein at? You got to watch that fucking goddamn child raper.
Toll booths on the Golden Gate Bridge. You got to wonder. But
child raper Trump!
I really expect some sort of false flag terror attack just to escalate things in the United States.
So Israel is basically admitting they're about to do a terrorist attack. I mean, you practically just choreographed it. I mean, I don't even know what to,
because too many people are waking up to what Israel is. Too many people are waking up to what really happened in World War II. Like I said, all those things that they're accusing the Palestinians of doing, these are all things that the Jews did.
Yeah, every accusation is a confession by these fucking goddamn child rapers.
In World War II. And even the term, the final solution, I've shown you before, there was a book written by Theodor Kaufmann that was called Germany Must Perish. This book came out, I think, in 1942, around then. And it talked about the fact that...
Talked about how they had to wipe out, had to perish Germany.
The people of Germany
must perish. By who? By who?
Must be exterminated.
By a Jew. A Jew named Theodor Kaufmann said, Germany must perish. So they were taken over internally and then started attacking themselves to play, so they could play the victim. Imagine that. Jews killed Jews so they could play the victim. Imagine that. They love each other so much, like savage animals.
There's also talk before that in 1933 saying that people...
By the way, Hitler was run by Jews. That's why he was rounding up Jews so they could play victim. Let that sink in. Hitler was run by Jews.
Of Europe must be exterminated.
In fact, Hitler, if you look it up, Retards was, I think it was a Rothschild or related or supported by Rothschild, the biggest, Jew fucks of all time.
We're talking about this before that with the Kalergi plan that came out, I believe, in 1923, which was a plan put out by Coldenhove Kalergi to flood Europe with migrants.
All you have to do to understand that Israel isn't supposed to be in the Middle East, all you have to do is look at their white skin, their European skin. It doesn't match. You're not brown skinned. You're not from Palestine. You're not a Semite. You don't have brown skin. You have to have brown skin to be a fucking Semite, not a white Bolshevik fucking Polak European. Look at fucking Netanyahu. He was raised in New York City. That fucking pedophile.
Migrants.
It's very clear that the Jews want to exterminate the European race. Richard Coudenhove Kalergi, who is the father of the European Union and who was funded by the Jewish bankers Rothschild and Warburg. Now, this man wrote a book called Praktischer Idealismus in 1925.
Berg, whenever you hear Berg, think dick-nosed fucking Jew.
In which he stated that the Jews are a master race and that the Jews can only assume the throne of rule over the world by weakening the European race, and that the means to weakening the European race would be to dissolve all the European nations, destroy all their
immigration agenda,
cultural heritage, and their
or you get your immigration agenda, divide and conquer, dilute the cultures, separate
national traditions, and replace that with the European Union, and then to invite in Africans, Middle Easterners, and Asians to dilute the blood of Europeans through miscegenation to the point where they became a degenerate mixed race. And then at
they think they would be better than before.
That point, these people would no longer
not degenerated, they'd be even better than you, fucking retard.
have any sense of nationhood. And the ancient
what an assumption. Wow, these people are fucking dumb. Wow.
Jewish,
that's an assumption. Oh, if they mix, they'll be less of a people. No, they might be better with a little more variety action going, a little bit of everything.
messianic prophecies of world rule out of Jerusalem, with Jews maintaining their nationhood and their national status. It would fulfill the Jewish messianic prophecies that the Jews could then rule the world. And this was completely in line with what Nikolai had written in 1917 and has manifested itself recently with the invasion of immigrants from Africa, from the Middle East, and from Asia into Europe, America, and Australia. And they are deliberately setting about to genocide the white race and destroy all sense of
that's racism,
nationhood, and national heritage and national culture.
So the Jews are trying to wipe out white people because they're a bunch of racist fucking white people.
Culture in each of our nations.
So all this has been put into motion, folks, by the same people. And I showed you that book, 1942, called Germany Must Perish. And they talked about a final solution for the European people.
Bill Gates has a final solution for you. It's called the bioweapon vaccine jab.
In our school books, we are taught that the evil Germans wanted to genocide all the Jews.
No.
Ironically, there were no written German plans to exterminate the Jews. No. But on the other hand, there were many Jewish plans to exterminate.
But on the other hand, there were many Jewish plans to exterminate the Germans. Baba goo, baba goo goo. Tons of books on it.
The Germans, Jewish.
There were no books on the other, but there were no books the other way around.
Supremacists were openly.
I wonder why there were no books about Germans wanting to destroy the Jews. How come there were only books of Jews wanting to destroy Germans? Reality check.
Only for the genocide of the Germans.
That's telling. That tells you something, whether it registers or not.
Germans.
I mean, who writes books like that? Who writes books like this? What kind of savage child raping fucks do this.
This was mainly the reason why the National Socialists viewed it as their mission to save the German people. But what is the motivation for the demographic genocide of the European people that we all can see around us today? Why is it necessary for a specific group of people to destroy the racial and cultural makeup of an entire continent and race of people? The answer to this can be found in the following disturbing plans. Baruch Levy stated in response to Karl Marx in La Revue de Paris, the Jewish people as a whole will become its own messiah. It will attain world domination by the dissolution of other races, by the abolition of frontiers.
World domination. Again, this is what we're up against, the mental illness of Israel. It's all there. This is their mentality, world domination. It's all there. It's all there. Confirmed, verified, it checks out.
The annihilation of monarchy, and by the establishment of a world republic in which the Jews will everywhere exercise the privilege.
Everywhere. That's why they've infiltrated every government in the world. This cancer, by the way, Israel is interchangeable with the word cancer. Cancer. Israel is a cancer of the world that must be cut out and destroyed. They're the reptilian aliens trying to take over the humans. You got to kill them. That's the only answer. Get rid of them all. Kill them all. They're all got to die.
Citizenship. In this,
because they can't get it out of their heads. They can't get this out of their heads. They're going to always try to rule the world. Because of this right here, they can't get it out of their little pea brains. They can't get it out. They can't stop this batshit notion of trying to rule everybody. It's an obsession of pedophilia.
New World Order, the children of Israel will furnish all the leaders without encountering opposition. The governments of the different peoples forming the World Republic will fall without difficulty into the hands of the Jews. It will then be...
This was written years ago, stupid fucks. This is their plans. It's not a conspiracy. It's in writing. It might as well be carved in stone. Of course, you don't carve stone.
Possible for the Jewish rulers to abolish private property and everywhere to make
Here you go. You'll own nothing and be happy. Abolish private property. You will own nothing and be happy. Jewish Klaus Schwab, the Jew, says you'll own nothing and be happy.
The resources of the state. Thus, the promise of the Talmud will be fulfilled, in which is said that when the Messianic time is come, the Jews will have all the property.
You see, everything they tell you is backwards. Everything they've ever told you is backwards. The Holocaust, the weapons caches, the fact that Germany wanted to kill 6 million Jews, all of it is bullshit. Everything they have ever sold you is bullshit. Even the concept that they own the land of Palestine, it's all bullshit. Even the concept that Iran was a threat to the United States. Benjamin Netanyahu actually admitted in a talk that it's been a 40-year dream of his to attack Iran.
Israel is the most violent country per capita in the whole world because it doesn't declare any borders. Ask Netanyahu. There'll never be a Palestinian land, believe me, period. The borders will expand when we want, where we want. Of course, the most violent
dream of his to attack Iran.
Israel is the most violent country per capita in the whole world because it doesn't declare any borders. Ask Netanyahu. There'll never be a Palestinian land, believe me, period. The borders will expand when we want, where we want. Of course, between the Nile and the Euphrates to fulfill greater Israel's hegemonic aspirations. And anyone that...
They have delusional aspirations that include murder, theft, genocide.
Projects we're going to take out.
They aspire to commit genocide and murder of their fellow man.
So Israel has either overtly or covertly through Mossad engaged in wars that stretch from Libya, Sudan, Somalia, Palestine, Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, Yemen, and now Iran.
This is the cancer of the world. This is the cancer of the world.
And Netanyahu also wrote a few days ago that the war on Iran fulfills my 40-year dream. This is very important for people to understand, because the claim was, well, Iran didn't negotiate right last week, or it's about this, or it's about that. No, this is a 40-year.
It's been planned for dude, I can show you 40 years back that pedophile Netanyahu wanting to attack Iran.
Dream of Netanyahu. It is.
It's been his wet dream for 40 years.
Now Israel has invaded Lebanon. It's displacing these hours hundreds of thousands of people. It's telling people in Beirut, you must leave in the next 3 hours. This is a crazy country. I'm sorry. They think that it's as if they have a deed inscribed somewhere in heaven that they own all this land, that we stop at nothing to ensure global hegemony and Israeli region.
This is literally an entire group of people, Israel, that are mentally ill. Israelis are the mentally ill retards of all humans. Out of all the humans, the Israelis are the mentally ill humans. They're mentally ill. Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Regional hegemony that you develop, and you say, therefore, I go to war with my neighbors. It's the madness that gets us into World War III.
And that's interesting, like what he said there. Israel doesn't define its borders. And that's interesting, like what he said there. Israel doesn't define its borders. And that's interesting, like what he said there. Israel doesn't define its borders. We know a lot of this is about the great.
Because why? Why not? Tell us why, Max. It's because they want to constantly expand them. It's because they want to constantly expand them outward and increase their land, stolen land.
Greater Israel Project. And that's another thing. You know, like we've seen through their own talk, the genocide is their preferred method of war. You're not supposed to spare anything. You're supposed to kill everything.
No mercy is what the goddamn pedophiles say. They say no mercy. Remember earlier?
Man, woman, and child, their pets, their animals, their crops, their trees.
They kill their animals too. Their dogs, their cats, their trees, their gardens.
Trees, their flowers, their plants, demolish their homes, erase every single trace of
these fucking motherfuckers are so mentally ill.
Them leave no thing that would suggest that these people ever existed. That's the way they wage war. But it's not genocide, they will tell you. And then by the same token, they will say, one of the big arguments they put forth is that Jews come from Judea. This is the promised land. The Holy Land is Judea. We want to reclaim our homeland. Judea is a small province within Palestine, now Israel, but it's a small province within that area. So what gives them the claim for Greater Israel that they claim, like Daniela Wise saying they're going to claim Greater Israel, the Promised Land? How is it the Promised Land? Who promised it to them? Didn't God and all this bullshit that they say happened with Abraham, didn't he promise them that they could have the land of Judea? Isn't that what they were talking about? Because they keep saying that's their homeland. I'm just trying to get some clarity here, get some, continuity with everything, a little bit of consistency. So they say they come from Judea, but yeah, they're going to claim all of Palestine, and now they want to claim Lebanon, and they want to claim Syria, and they want to claim Jordan, and they want to claim parts of Egypt, and they want to claim parts of Arabia, and they want to claim parts of Turkey, because this is the promised land, the Greater Israel, the Eretz Israel that they call it, that was promised to them, that people like Daniela Wise keep saying.
It leads to a horrible Saudi Arabia peace plan. No, we say no to all.
So They stole Judea. They got Judea. They got their promised land. You got it. So why are you going out and taking more land? You got what you said was yours. Imagine they got what they said was theirs. And then they go, they were promised that in their own delusions. They were promised Judea. So they went and took it and they got it. Well, you got it. But no, now they're going to expand that. I thought you said you were promised that and you got it. Why are you trying to go out and expand that now? It doesn't even make sense. You got Judea. You got it. So why are you expanding it?
This dotted route. We want Am Israel in Eretz Israel, in the great Eretz Israel, and never submit to terror. And
What a fucking cunt hole. What a mentally ill fucking terrorist bitch.
never
Look at these Israelis. They're fucking mentally ill.
give any part
That's
of
crazy.
the living
Look at that crazy fucking cunt hole.
body of Eretz Israel to anybody.
Ah!
Not to leave,
Ah,
as
blah,
the man
blah,
said,
shut your
not to
fucking
leave Eretz Israel to enemies and not to leave it desolate.
bitch.
We will settle Gaza.
Somebody fucking choke that bitch out, please.
We will settle Lebanon. We will settle the entire promised land.
You got it. Lebanon has nothing to do with it, you fucking mentally ill fucking cunt.
Thank you very much.
No, fuck you, bitch. Die. I curse your ass.
How was it promised to them? Where does this come from? How can you be making the argument that Jews come from Judea and yet you want all of this other land as well? None of it makes any sense. And the thing is, they're not going to stop there. It's like I was saying with those.
Yeah, and by the way, that's not, they're not going to stop there. As soon as they get that Greater Israel project, we got another one. Now that's the next plan where they expand that, you stupid fucks.
10 rules that were adapted, that those are the rules that the world must go by, and anything outside those rules is unacceptable. That's the way they want the world run. So that gives you an indication. Like you said, that's not hyperbole. That is the way things are run, which means anybody who criticizes Israel is the enemy and is likely to be subject to invasion and all of the stuff that they outlined in what they do to their enemies, because they have always, as I've been saying lately, reserved the right to attack preemptively anybody who criticizes them. They believe is threatening, which gives them the moral right to attack them and annihilate them because of the Holocaust. So you see how they've kind of played all of this. And people wonder why I talk about it so much. Well, because it's coming home to all of us, folks. It really is. And I think a lot of what they're doing is being done because so many people are waking up. Because we have the power to change all this. All this smart grid, all this shit that's coming online, they can't do any of it without us. None of it will succeed without our compliance. All of it requires us to buy the smartphones, have the smart fridges, do all this smart stuff, do all these things that they want us to do. It all requires that. If we don't participate in that, the whole system falls apart, which is why they've got to keep us all distracted with all this other bullshit, all of this wars and all of this, just everything that they're throwing at us. I mean, so much stuff they're throwing at us, folks. And they want to make sure that you feel disempowered, like there's nothing you can do about it. Well, there is. There's a lot you can do about it. You don't have to comply with any of this shit. Something I was saying before, talking about the smart system and the data centers and all this sort of shit. Something I mentioned before is that they're using an incredible amount of water in these data centers. Now, I think that they've done these resets before. We've spoken about this so many times. I think they've done these resets over and
Shut up. Stop diarrhea shitting everywhere.
over again. The collective memory of mankind. That's why they keep nothing. They don't fight wars to defend our borders. We fight wars to kill people and to destroy ancient infrastructure and ancient
I mean, look at the damage behind him of the red brick and mortar. That used to be a perfectly good red brick wall behind that guy. And he doesn't even know that 400 years ago, the entire world started melting. The building started melting from too much electricity below, and the byproduct of electricity too much is heat and melting. Everything has a melting point.
That's what all the wars are for. That's all they do is blow up buildings and blow up places. Look what they've done in Iran, just blown up everything. Haven't really changed anything except they've destroyed so much infrastructure, what they've done across the Middle East, what they're doing in Gaza, in Palestine, what they're doing in Lebanon. Destroying cities that are 3,000 years old. Destroyed another church in Lebanon just yesterday or the day before. People think that Israel supports Christians. No, it's just on the surface. They don't support Christians at all. It was actually,
they fucking hate you.
Actually a great
And they hate your dumb,
talk by Abby Martin, who visited Israel. She was actually invited because she was criticizing Israel, and they invited her to go there to see for herself. And she said, okay, I will. And so she did.
I remember I had a debate with an Israeli spokesperson who said, "You're wrong about Israel. Come visit Israel and we'll show you the truth." And so I said, okay, I'll see the truth for myself. I went in 2016 and wow, it was a transformative, life-changing trip. Everything that I thought I knew was actually much worse than I had even thought. I spent 4 weeks traveling all across the West Bank, small villages, refugee camps. I stayed in the Balata refugee camp, Aida refugee camp. I remember going to Hebron, which was the most visceral example of Israeli apartheid I'd ever seen. And then, of course, going into the borders of 48 was just the absolute dichotomous opposite. I mean, spending several weeks with Palestinians, hearing their hearts poured open. I mean, the most beautiful, welcoming, gracious people I've ever met in my life. And no one ever said anything remotely racist. No one said anything remotely anti-Semitic.
Okay.
And it was just the opposite of the narrative that we've been told our whole lives. Now going into the borders of 48, the racism and bigotry was visceral. It was palpable to the point where I couldn't even bear to be there for more than a couple hours. I mean, I didn't even want to spend money there because I was so disgusted.
Okay.
There's a reason why Americans are not shown what Israeli society thinks on camera.
Okay.
We're only shown a very sanitized version of what Israeli society thinks and believes because they handpick spokespeople with American accents to speak to Americans. And I went around Jerusalem for a few hours and interviewed Israelis, and the results were quite shocking. I mean, the first day that I was there, I mean, literally within 20 minutes of leaving the airport, I remember seeing a row of people walking up a huge hill with their cars behind concrete barricades. And I said, what is going on here? And my friend Nancy Mansour said, oh, this is what they do to just inconvenience Palestinians routinely. They'll just blockade, set up makeshift checkpoints and make them walk 3 hours outside of where their direct route is to get home. And right out of the gate, I just said, oh my God. A couple minutes later, we saw an ambulance at a checkpoint where they were pulling out a person who was probably bleeding out. I mean, someone
Literally, if you ever wanted to see what a demon manifested into physical form looks like, yeah, they're called Israelis.
who needed immediate medical assistance, and they were checking the ambulance. I mean, we know what they do. I felt like I was walking into Berlin in 1932. I really felt absolutely
See how dumb she is?
disgusted.
She
I
did
just
diarrhea shit all over her own face right there, you idiot.
couldn't believe what I was hearing. I mean, just walking a couple
Never been
steps.
to Berlin.
And as white as I am, are you Arab? Are you Arab? And I'm like, what? I'm an American. Oh, good. We can talk about Arabs then. We can talk about how much we hate Palestinians. I saw the writing on the wall back then. I saw that there's no hope from within Israel.
There's no hope for these demons.
Society. I went to
They're a lost cause.
To rallies where they were calling to kick all the refugees out. You know,
Israelis are a lost cause. Israel is a lost cause.
these were things that we're told Israel's a safe haven for Holocaust survivors, for genocide survivors. Well, why are all the African refugees put out in the middle of the Negev desert into a concentration camp? Why don't they want any African refugees there?
Why were they given? Given something to make it to where they can't have children either?
They tokenize Ethiopian refugees, but then they make them take Depo-Provera birth control because they don't want them to reproduce. That's
insanity how evil these demons are.
This is the nature of Israel.
These reptilian Israelis.
Israeli society. It's an ethno state, and it's built on supremacy and hate.
He went out into the woods just an hour ago, whatever it was, a couple hours ago, and he came back and his right eye is fucked up. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with him, bro. His right eye's fucking squinting and bloodshot red. It was fine before he went outside.
Because that's what Zionism is.
Yeah.
What happened to you, buddy? Come here.
So she found out it was 10 times worse than what she even thought it was. But all of this is about destroying ancient infrastructure and destroying ancient memory. Like I've mentioned before, I think there are those of us who are born who have some connection to a pure bloodline. I mean, but who knows? I mean, I just don't believe anything about history anymore. Even the bloodline that I'm told that I have, I now question because I just don't know. I don't believe anything. I don't believe anything that isn't easily verifiable because it exists within living memory. Everything else I question. Possibility of it, I'll put it on this shelf and I'll consider it a possibility, but I won't believe any of it. But I would suggest that there's some of us that have a bloodline which stems back to genetics that existed before the last reset, and that we have.
Shut up with the reset, you fucking retard. God, fucking shut up.
Amount of genetic.
So fucking dumb.
Memory.
Fuck.
And I would suggest a lot of these bloodlines that have this genetic memory, a lot of this memory is triggered by ancient architecture, like some of the stuff that triggered me when I was a kid. I've spoken about this before, I'm sure. But there's something else. I mean, as I've said before, there's a huge attack against water on this earth. Your body is 85% water. And you...
Again, they're literally taking everything here that is provided for free to everyone and making you pay for it. Let that sink in. Instead of sharing it equally with everyone, hey, we're all people, nobody gets more water than anyone else, we all deserve water. No, they want to make you buy it. It's just the most evil shit. I mean, they all got to die for this.
Are made from the combination of the waters of your mother and father. And those waters are made from the combinations of all of their ancestors. Boiling right down to you. See, water has...
No, it doesn't exactly work like... They're vessels, dude. And it's that simple. Your soul, these are technology. It's just like a car. When you go to get in a car and operate it, your soul gets into the vessel, the body, human form, and operates it. It's technology, okay? He's too dumb to understand that we created this place, and the vessel is just technology to experience subjectivity, individuality, individuated consciousness, and physicality. You had to grow a physical vessel for the soul to inhabit in order to be able to access this physical world domain. It's just technology. It's a means to an end. It's a way to access this world.
There's memory, water clusters. There is an infinite amount of water clusters on the earth, and there's a hell of a lot of water on the earth. I often wonder about the nature of salt water. Where did it come from? Why is there so much salt water on the earth?
The idiot doesn't understand where the salt water came from. This is how dumb he is. This is how dumb he is. When too much electricity surged from the grid below and traveled from the bottom of the buildings towards the tops of the buildings, when too much electricity did this, it created heat that melted everything in the world. And that heat that was so hot that it could melt brick caused liquid water to change its state into a gaseous state form. All the liquid water was forced into a gas immediately, forced to rise up into the sky into a gas from the heat. It's melting red brick. It's going to alter the state of water from liquid to a gas. And as soon as the electricity stops and the heat stops, all of that water will turn back into liquid and flood the earth. That's the flood. That's how you got to flood, dumb fucks. That's how you got to flood. And all the buildings that were cooked into ash and melted, and you have ash everywhere, that mixed with the water, and now that's why you have salt water, because the salt in the water that you think is salt is ash. It's melted, cooked, burnt ash. So I suggest you watch my documentary, because you literally just diarrhea shit all over your own face, Max.
Yes.
This is the asshole. I sent him my documentary, this asshole, and it had some flat earth shit in the very beginning of it, and he stopped watching it right there. That's how mentally ill and fucking fuck this guy. Fuck him for stopping to watch it right there. Fuck this guy.
You know, is it true that when we die, our bodies return to the earth and to the water? Perhaps the saline in our bodies, the salt in our bodies, perhaps that.
See, this is how dumb he is. Listen to the mentally ill shit he's saying. We gotta go, dude. You're a fucking jack off. I hate this guy, dude. How dumb he is, dude. He's so dumb. He won't watch my documentary. I have all your answers there, you idiot. You fucking idiot. How's everybody doing in the chat? Please excuse my voice. I've been doing a lot of hours, and the live stream the other day was over 6, almost 7 hours. Wednesday, check it out. And of course, they had to put an age restriction on it so I don't get any views, because everybody that works for YouTube is a censoring pedophile dick rider. And they hate freedom. They hate freedom of speech. Fascism is here. Anti-ICE protesters get 50 years in prison for exercising their First Amendment right. I'm going to kill every one of you in government. I'm going to kill every fucking one of you I can get my hands on, man. You all got to die, you fucking pedophile motherfuckers. You pedophile fucking protecting fucks all got to die. Trump, Vance, Rubio, Hegseth, all of you fuckers got to die. You're a bunch of pedophile protectors. How dare you protect them? How dare you protect pedophiles? How dare you protect child rapers? I'm going to find your soul on the other side. God damn. I survived 10 years of torture being passed around by the elites like an ashtray. I was forced to traffic girls for powerful men, and I'm ready to talk. Dems vote to end Iran war in massive Trump rebuke. Unbelievable that these pedophiles, man, are unbelievable. What they're allowing Trump to just do all this to Iran after it murdered a bunch of children, man. Like, people talk to Trump like he's an honorable president to talk to when he's a child raping murderer. Like, I wouldn't even let my shit associate with that guy. I wouldn't even let my shit say one word to that dude. That would be, you know what I mean? That's insane. And you got people interviewing him and wanting to talk to him like they're so mentally ill. The Diddy situation, he's got another lawsuit against him, that cocksucking loser. I hope he fucking dies today. I wish I could choke him to death myself, people like that. I hate these people. I wish I could kill them myself. Just all these people, I'd kill the fuck out of you fuckers. Oh, I'd kill you so good. God, I'm not a killer. But I hate bad people so much. I want to kill them. That's weird. It's weird. I could be a killer if it's bad people, I think. I think I could do it. Somebody's got to execute, pull the trigger. Somebody's got to pull the rope, or what is that when the hanging, the executioner? Somebody's got to be the executioner. Shit. Nah, I would imagine I wouldn't want to do that. 28 million are starting to see what's coming for America. 28 million people are starting to see what's coming for America, and they're getting angry. Really? Really? Billionaires could end this tomorrow. Albania prime minister unwisely chooses Israel over Albanians. Cancer occurred near injection sites of Fauci's vaccine, of Big Pharma's vaccine. How smart owners are pulling trackers from their new vehicles so the pedophile corporations can't track them. Americans can't pretend everything is fine anymore. Avoid these 5 egg brands at all costs. Junkyards are burning down across America. Protesters in Philippines demand complete withdrawal of U.S. terrorist troops in base access over Iran war, they say. Good for you, Philippines. Get rid of the fucking terrorist bucks. Las Vegas's homeless crisis is growing. This is how they covered up the COVID vax's deadly side effects. Senator Ron Johnson, let's see, journalists expose secret deployment to Israel. Let me show you a video. One more. So I think this is like in 99. Watch Courtney Love predict the downfall of America 3 days ago. The young Turks, the young idiots.
It's a lot of man. Let's go. Socialized medicine. I would make sure that we had. Oh yeah, that'd be one thing. I would.
Yikes! Anything socialized is fucking cursed.
So much is crazy. I'd make a huge. I'd fund arts a lot more. I think that in American schools, music programs getting cut are the very first thing. Arts programs are the first thing. I'd pay teachers more money. Yeah. Teachers don't get paid, whereas entertainers get.
I just ignore all this shit in the beginning. She actually gets this somewhere. She actually starts to make sense eventually. Give it up. Hang in there.
Paid obscene amounts, except for us.
This interview took place in the year 1999, and yet
in America we have violations of the antitrust law constantly with Microsoft, with the whole, remember Pearl Jam taking on Ticketmaster? The guy that owns Ticketmaster is the partner of Bill Gates from Microsoft. And what I believe that can lead to fascism. And I believe that leads to a tearing down of democracy when corporations take over everything. We've just come from a music merger where there's now only 4 music companies in the world, folks.
That's thinking. That's basically a fucking monopoly. There should be millions. Listen, millions.
4 companies. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And one of those companies, Sony, who we actually like, make all the electronic gear. This is a Sony camera. Right. So there's such a violation. I mean, it's like a corporate world. You're going to be looking up at the Milky Way, and it's going to be called the Philip Morris Milky Way. You know, it'll be called the Sony National Forest.
Planet Starbucks.
I mean, you know, your town, you know, Berlin's going to be renamed, I don't know, Exxonville. You really need to watch out for it.
It has aged like a fine wine. That was famed rocker Courtney Love. And however you may feel about her, she was spot on there.
Do you have any advice for a young girl moving to Hollywood? I'll get lively with that.
If Harvey Weinstein invites you to a party, don't go. That's some really good advice. Genius. She does care. She cares.
Private party and 4 seats and stuff.
And she was spot on here.
I'll get lively with that. Harvey Weinstein invites you to a private party and 4 seats and stuff.
And she was spot on here. With that first example, that first piece of video about how corporations lead to fascism, Professor Richard Wolff would have a say.
There's a quote in the question from Benito Mussolini, the fascist leader of Italy back in the 20th century, who said that fascism should better be called corporatism because it's a merger of the state and capitalist corporations.
See, the fascism in Germany was the other way around. The government took over the corporations. Here, the corporations took over the government. But it's the same result either way. Total control, and you're a slave.
When capitalism in its, let's call it,
let's just call capitalism what it is. Cannibalism. Capitalism is really cannibalism.
Normal,
you're a cannibal.
Non-fascist form, dominant in Europe, say, across the 19th and then 20th century. When that kind of capitalism, characterized by private enterprises, owned and operated by private individuals and groups of individuals, confronting a mass of employees, some of whom they exploit directly as productive workers, and others of whom they hire to provide the conditions, the framework needed for the.
Anyway, look at that dimple in my top lip now. Now I have a dimple in my top lip because it's pulling in. The magnetic field's pulling it in again. It's incredible. Of course, my teeth look like goddamn fucking blasphemy. But yeah, that's what happens when you have mercury fillings, folks. Mercury fillings. They tried to kill me. You know how many times I've cheated death? You know how many times I've cheated death? I should have died in motocross about 100 times alone right there. I should have died right there and just doing motocross. And then some of the skateboarding and shit I did. But, and then they tried to kill me with mercury fillings. The dentist in high school, they gave you mercury fillings so your teeth fall out. So that your teeth fall out. And I had a lot of them. Didn't know they were mercury, though, at the time. Obviously, I didn't know. Hey, poor! Hey, poor! Hey, poor! You don't have to be poor anymore! Hallelujah! Let's see here. Hallelujah! Ah. Oh, that's a good one, too. God damn, dude. Will you fucking faggot tube? God, I fucking curse that motherfucking YouTube. Jeez, the worst fucking platform of all time. They got a monopoly. 4-cylinder engines getting worse gas mileage than V8s. This is how mentally ill the government and the manufacturers are. We got to have 4-cylinder turbos to save gas, and they make them less efficient. You can't make it up.
4-cylinder engine, and this is the first 2,000 miles on the truck. It's been averaging almost 19 miles per gallon. I thought when GM switched over to this new 4-cylinder engine that these would be putting out better gas mileage, put it in their full-size and mid-size trucks, that this engine would be getting a lot better gas mileage than it's getting. Again, to get 19 miles per gallon out of a mid-size pickup truck with a 4-cylinder engine, this one is also 2-wheel drive, just doesn't seem right.
It's not even 4-wheel drive
to me at all. Why my Jeep Gladiator for the same, almost the same amount of miles, I'm averaging 24 mpgs out of the 6-cylinder engine. So I just find it funny, you know, we switch to these smaller places.
The 6-cylinder engine's getting 24. The 4-cylinder, less cylinders, should take less gas. Are you getting 19? Make that make sense.
Displacement engines only to get worse miles per gallon, which I find kind of funny because, again, what's the advantage of a 4-cylinder if it's going to get worse MPG?
There is no advantage of a 4-cylinder if it doesn't get better gas mileage. Zero.
Than a 6-cylinder. And again, this one's 2-wheel drive. This one's obviously 4-wheel drive. And this one.
And the V6 with 4-wheel drive, which should get way worse because it's a V6 and because it's 4-wheel drive, gets 24. And the 4-cylinder that's not 4-wheel drive and it's less cylinders gets 19. That's fucking mental illness at its finest.
One has an 8-speed transmission to deal with, while this one still has a 6-speed transmission. This is the new Chevy Colorado with the 4-cylinder engine, and this is the first.
And it's a joke. God damn, I wish I had some fucking weed. Oh, it is fucking hell with no weed. This place sucks dick. Come on, you fucking pedo motherfucker. God, it's just non-stop pedophile. These fucking Israel fucking shit. Here we go. I got one here. I got a hot one. We got a hot one. We got a hot potato here.
You see dozens of people that are taking part in a yoga practice as part of a nonprofit called Brothers in Yoga. It's an organization started by a wonderful woman named Netta Margalit, who has dedicated all of her time and energy and resources to bringing somatic healing yoga practices to starting with soldiers who've experienced PTSD, not just PTSD in light of October 7th and the subsequent war, but also soldiers that have
murdered so many children. We need help now. We've murdered so many children that we just mentally can't handle it anymore. We're the victim. We killed so many children, and we can't handle it. We're the victim.
Have been traumatized and suffering from all kinds of issues.
So that's the Israeli IDF soldiers doing yoga for their mental health for what they've done to the Palestinians. Now, the Palestinians are not getting any of that treatment. The treatment they're getting is torture and sexual violence against their kids. And the new UN independent commission has confirmed that. Anna's got the details.
Right, Cenk. I mean, when you're committing war crimes and torturing and slaughtering children, I mean, sometimes you got to get the weight of your crimes against humanity off your mind. And what better way than
Sometimes your guilty conscience might be, really heavy.
in a yoga practice that's advertised on Israeli media. Now, with that in mind, the UN has just come out with yet another report, not only reconfirming that genocide had happened in Gaza at the hands of the Israeli Defense Forces, but that the genocide continues. And in this case,
by the way, the genocide has never stopped. Israel is continuing every day and has never stopped murdering children in Palestine. And now they've added another country, Lebanon. They're also doing a genocide. So now instead of committing one genocide's not enough for Israel. Israel has to commit 2 genocides now. Let that sink in. How many genocides do you think they really want, though? They want to go into Syria, Turkey, everywhere, Iran.
Are laser focused on the crimes against children in particular. So let's get to the details. Now, according to this latest United Nations report from the Human Rights Council, Israel continues to commit genocide and other atrocity crimes by deliberately targeting Palestinian children. So this was released just recently, June 23rd, and the report was conducted specifically by the UN International Commission of Inquiry on the occupied Palestinian territory, including East Jerusalem and Israel in general. And it goes into some specific effects that these bombings, these strikes, these raids, and the blockade on the Gaza Strip have had specifically on children. Now, children are not in control of this situation. Children are innocent. Children should be protected, but not according to the IDF. The commission, which concluded last year that Israel had committed genocide against the Palestinian group in the Gaza Strip, found that the intense scale and systematic nature of the Israeli military operations have continued, resulting in unprecedented death, injury, and trauma of Palestinian children. The commission.
And don't forget to add Lebanon to this genocide now. 2 fronts, two genocidal fronts. Israel is attacking Gaza and it's attacking Lebanon and Syria. Somalia. It goes on and on. These are pedophiles.
Reiterates that the deliberate targeting of children is one of the key elements establishing genocidal intent of the Israeli authorities and security forces to destroy the Palestinian group in whole or in part in Gaza. Remember, that's the definition of genocide. And they point to specific findings, including the fact that severe physical and mental injuries, mass trauma, orphanhood, separation, disability, repeated displacement, starvation, and the collapse of education and healthcare have erased childhood and will continue to affect children in Gaza throughout their lives. And in addition to blocking food from entering the Gaza Strip, Israel is also preventing building materials and sanitary equipment for Palestinians to be able to deal with things like sewage and pests. And it has led to the video that has gone viral on social media recently. I'll explain to you what you're looking at. That is the foot of a child who is now living in a tent. You can see that the child's foot has a swarm of insects surrounding the child. And we had shared with you in earlier reports that rat and rodent infestations in Gaza were a problem. Now, potentially disease-carrying mosquitoes are a problem in the Gaza Strip.
You would wrap your fucking foot up so the goddamn bugs can't touch it. What the fuck is going on here?
With no help and no end in sight, because this is very, very clearly a campaign to erase a group of people from a region of the world that, of course, Israel wants to take over entirely.
So I posted that on social media, and one of the Israeli supporters said, it doesn't matter because the Palestinians don't exist. from the same people who cry nonstop about we have a right to exist. Do Palestinian children have a right?
Yeah, you have all these fucking pedophile motherfucking Israelis. We have the right to exist. So does Palestine. So does everybody. More than you, because you shouldn't be existing. You're the cancer. When you murder people, you have to die for that. You can't be here anymore. You got to go. You got to go. If you kill anyone here, you have to die.
Right to exist? Apparently not. It's that haunting line from Golda Meir keeps ringing through my head. We'll never forgive the Palestinians for making us kill their children.
I know they're never responsible for their genocidal acts. They're never in the wrong.
Did you hear the mental illness out of these fucking savages? They just said, we hate the Palestinians for making us kill their children. And for making us kill. Do you understand the mentality, the delusion, the derangement of these mentally ill retards yet?
They're just innocent
They
angels.
are the golden people.
Right.
They can kill and rape and torture children, but you're not allowed to say it. If they can do it, but if you say you're a bad person, no.
You're allowed to do it, but you're not even allowed to say they're doing it.
No, if you're denying this genocide, you are a genocide denier and you are a disgusting person. If you're helping Israel do these atrocities and you're covering that up, you're a fascist enabler, you're a fascist supporter, and now you're in league with other fascists throughout history, okay? So I hope you're proud. So no, look, this is something you guys don't deal with. Sorry to interject like my personal issues here in the middle of such an important story.
Go off, King.
But
all right, there we go. We got it up in there. Where are the comments? How come nobody will comment? Can you guys please comment? I'm not, I can't read your minds. I don't know what to think. I'm not sure how you are reacting to these videos. Jeez.
The lights never turn off. Some people disappear anyway. Start on the strip after dark. The fountains rise. The casino doors open. Tourists move beneath screens. Signs and hotel towers built to keep.
Everywhere is empty there. It's empty everywhere now.
Keep every eye looking up. Las Vegas is a city.
Nobody even showed up to Trump's state fair. It was embarrassing. And not because they're broke, because they are broke, but because Trump's a fucking pedophile, probably. I hope. If there's any hope, that's why.
Designed to be seen. Every light has a purpose. Every entrance is a promise. Every sidewalk near the strip feels like it is moving toward money, music, and escape. But keep walking. Past the fountains, past the pedestrian bridges, past the parking garages, past the edge of the tourist map. The brightness starts to thin. A cart waits near a wall. A blanket is folded beside concrete. Someone is trying to sleep where the city becomes quiet enough to ignore. This is the Las Vegas tourists rarely meet. Not because it is far away, because the city is very good at teaching people where not to look. To understand Las Vegas homelessness, do not begin with the lights. Begin with what the lights do not show. On the surface, Las Vegas looks like a city that solved the problem of reality. The Bellagio fountains rise on schedule. The Sphere glows above the desert. Caesar's Palace shines through the night. Las Vegas Boulevard stays busy long after most American cities have gone to sleep. Everything feels engineered. The lights, the music, the temperature inside the casinos, even the sense of time begins to disappear. A visitor can spend days here and never feel far from comfort, never feel far from entertainment, never feel far from another hotel room. But behind the fountains, behind the casinos, and beyond the edges of the Strip, there is another Las Vegas living by a different set of rules. A Las Vegas of rising housing costs, weekly motels, temporary rooms, waiting lists, shelters operating near capacity, and people trying to stay housed in a city famous for selling escape. Keep walking long enough, and the contradiction becomes difficult to ignore. One block is built to attract attention. The next survives by avoiding it. A city can generate billions of dollars in tourism and still struggle with homelessness. A city can offer thousands of hotel rooms every night, while thousands of residents struggle to find stable housing. That contradiction sits at the center of Las Vegas's homeless crisis. In this video, we will follow the places visitors see, then the places they do not, then the people trying to survive. So
You get the idea. I can't remember if this one is any good or what. You lit. Thanks, Evaldus. You're lit too, my brother. Love you, man.
Network that destroyed her life, and what she found was worse than she even expected. Her name is Maddie Kowalski. In December of 2025, explicit photos of her taken at a University of Florida frat party without her consent went viral overnight.
Maddie Kowalski, I feel bad for you, but same time, I really don't feel bad for you because you had this coming.
She didn't post them. She didn't even know they existed. She found out the same way everyone else did.
Have it coming, you fucking buffoon.
Strangers sending them to her.
The posts were horrifying enough, but people in the comment sections were equally as disgusting, and people were even taking naked photos of me and putting them into TikTok comment sections.
But instead of disappearing, she made a fake Twitter account, found the men responsible, and joined their voice chats while they didn't know that she was listening.
I'm sick to my stomach about the things that these guys are saying. There's girls behind these burner accounts. There's old ass men behind these burner accounts.
And in that moment, Maddie realized something. This wasn't random or just a one-off and Maddie got extremely unlucky. This was organized. It had a name, it had been running for years, and it was already moving on to its next target. This is Case Files with Matt Cullen, and today we are diving deep into the underground world of the burnerverse. To understand what happened to Maddie and why it keeps happening, you need to understand what the burnerverse actually is. The name, I guess, stemmed from burner phones, the cheap, prepaid, untraceable kind. In the 2020s, that same concept moved to social media. Anonymous accounts started being created that were meant to be disposable. They could be banned today and built.
Gee, an elite ring group of people hunting women, huh? Like the movies. Huh. Ah, man, when does it stop?
Men in the world. CEOs, oligarchs, royalty, billionaires whose names you definitely know.
Fucking expand the fucking... God damn it, expand the fucking page, you fucking cock fucking faggot.
No.
You're one of the worst things I've ever
YouTube, if I ever see any of you, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
heard in my life.
And the reason that we're even able to talk about it now is because she kept everything. Every phone number, every photograph, every name. Her name is Nayla Miller. Her story was published this week by investigative journalist Becca Day, whose Substack I will link below.
And while Nayla was not a victim of Jeffrey, she was sent to many of his associates, many of the men who are named in the files.
The individuals named in this video have not been charged with any crime in connection with these allegations. These are Nayla's words, her records, and her account. Nothing has been independently verified in court. Nayla Miller was born as Stephanie Guilford in Southern California. She was born into a middle-class family and was a really bright kid. She grew up wanting to be a cosmetic chemist, but she really had a plan for her life. Unfortunately, her father died when she was just 6 years old. And in the 2 years that followed, she says that she was sexually abused and physically abused by 5 people. 2 of them were relatives. Every time a teacher noticed a bruising, every time
Let me tell you, the relatives are the ones you got to really watch out for. It's always the relatives are bad. Relatives are bad.
Maybe a school counselor got too close to the truth, her mother would just take her and transfer her to a different school. And this happened again and again and again. Because of what she went through, Nayla had to grow up fast. She took on a parental role for her younger sister. She tried to create some sort of structure when there really was none for her. And by age 18, from the outside, it really looked like she had found some sort of stability in her life. She had her own apartment, a car, she was planning to go through college. Thankfully, she had a trust from her father's estate and a modeling career that was just starting to open back up. It seemed that she was really close to turning her life around. Growing up,
I survived 10 years of torture being passed around.
knowing from a young age that your parent wants you dead is not an easy way to navigate one's developmental years. In late 2002, Nayla reconnected with a girl online that she had known in middle school. Her name was Odette Annabelle. You may know her as an actress. I think she's best known for her roles in House and Cloverfield, the movie.
I'm interested in other things.
And I'm really gonna miss you.
Dave and Odette. He was like, "Are we late?"
And at this time, they were both really young and modeling in Los Angeles. Odette allegedly asked Nayla if she could move in. And at first, Nayla said no, but then she changed her answer to a yes because she felt like it was going to be a very temporary living situation for Odette. But the apartment and the vibes just changed automatically. Wrong energy, wrong people. Parties that Nayla said she wanted no part of. Because remember, she had built that new space to be the opposite of her.
Oh man, I think I meant to put this one.
Now that Jeffrey didn't work alone, someone had to.
I was forced to traffic girls for powerful men.
Book the flights. Someone answered the phone. Someone called the girls and told them where and when to come. Someone ordered cars. Someone greeted them at the door. Someone kept that schedule moving. And someone, in handwriting that has been verified, Harper's Bazaar. He was Princess Diana's personal photographer. Sarah alleges that he exposed himself to her. He had faced prior SA allegations before his death in 2022, which he denied. Sarah actually told Congress that it was Patrick that introduced her to Jeffrey, describing Jeffrey to her as, quote, a scout for potential Victoria's Secret models. When I think about Sarah's life, what she went through, what she put many others through, it is less for me, is she a victim or is she a perpetrator? But really, it's what does it mean to be both? She scheduled these abuse sessions. The notes prove it. The survivors testified to it. And a federal judge confirmed it. She was also being essayed by these same men. She testified to it. The power of how he ran his networks supported that. Everything we know about how he operated corroborates it. A 14-year-old girl was being photographed nude by a woman who says that she herself was being controlled by a violent predator. You know, I interviewed an Epstein survivor. Actually, she was named as minor victim 1. I will link it below if you have not checked it out yet. She is such an amazing woman. Her name is Marina, and she's so strong and shares her story often. But I did ask her because she brought up how she had brought other girls to Jeffrey as well. And I asked her what the relationship was like between the survivors. Do people hold resentment towards others that brought them to Jeffrey, or how does that all work? And of course, it's on a much different scale than Sarah. But you know, the cruelty of this whole situation wasn't just what it did to the girls at the bottom. It was also in what it made the people in the middle do to get there. Jeffrey didn't just abuse his victims. He used some of them to then others. He turned this victimization into a mechanism. He made the people he hurt into people that hurt others. And then he used the legal system, specifically a sweetheart plea deal that named his co-conspirators without their knowledge or consent, to ensure everyone inside of his network had to stay silent. I'm not going to tell you how to feel about Sarah Kellen, because to be honest, I don't know how I feel about the whole situation. But what I do know is the question that her existence poses, at what point does a victim become complicit and who is responsible for that transformation, is a question that the legal system has never properly answered. But this whole arrangement was constructed so that question would be unanswerable, so that blame would be impossible to assign cleanly, so that everyone inside would be too compromised to speak and too implicated to be believed. And it worked for over a decade. Sarah Kellen's testimony transcript will be made public. 3 names are now in the investigators' hands. And hopefully, thankfully, the Epstein probe, more than 2 decades later, is still moving. Sarah Kellen is now 46. She is talking, and she is apparently trying to reposition herself in a narrative that's been defining her for over 20 years. Whether 20 years of silence followed by congressional testimony constitutes being...
Alrighty then. All right. Okay, guys. That's a good one. 4 hours. What's up, Valdez? If you're still here, even MPC, Bubscat, how y'all doing? Appreciate you guys being here. Love you guys. I'm out of here. Somebody please donate, man. Can I get a donation if you can? Appreciate it, man. And thanks to those who donated last time. I appreciate you guys. Love you. And y'all have a good one. I'll see you in the next one here soon. Fitting to try. Good. Thanks, Valdez. Love you guys. Appreciate you. We had a good stream today. Very successful, very informative, very awareing, making you more aware. Yep. See you guys. Love you. Appreciate you. Bye-bye. Take care. Bye now.